Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Get ready for The Rush with Max Crosby.
You already know what time it is.
All-pro defensive end Max Crosby takes you beyond the field with exclusive insights, real stories from inside the locker room.
You could literally see us laughing, kind of chirping back and forth.
This is The Rush. Buckle up.
We talk about The Rush on The Rush all the time.
Don't miss the behind-the-scenes moments and interviews everyone's talking about.
We appreciate you guys. We're going to keep feeding you all the content.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Here we go.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down, into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball begins with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Jaden Bradley grabs the Arizona rebound. JB on the run the other way. Changes hands, down the lane, scoop it up and score it. Knocked away and stolen. Darrell also up with it. He'll go to the bucket, slam it home. JB on the run, runs into Freeman, bounce pass, buries inside, laid up and good, and he's fouled by Overton. Matched on Overton, fire it down low, Pete open, and slam it home.
High basketball IQ from Ivan Karchenkov against the matchup zone.
Slides back out high, chased by Pettiford, over Karchenkov for three, bang! Ivan Karchenkov.
He's a gamer. This guy is so competitive. Ivan Karchenkov, a difference maker on both ends.
And Tommy Lloyd says that's it. Wildcats will run out the clock, run their record to 8-0. They beat Auburn tonight here at McHale Center. Final score, Arizona 97, Auburn 66.
It is basketball night in Birmingham, Alabama. The number one Arizona Wildcats playing in the CM Newton Classic tonight against what will be the home team, although it's a neutral floor, the number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome to Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. My name is David Kelly. We've got the whole crew here tonight. We've got the captain, Kelvin Efon. We've got J.W. Madden. We've got you for the next 3 hours of our program as we get you set for another titanic battle in college basketball, and your Wildcats sitting at the top of the throne. Will this be a better result than 2 years ago when the Wildcats ascended to the number one ranking and then went out on the road to Indianapolis promptly to lose that number one spot to the Purdue Boilermakers? We shall find out in about 3 hours. Let's let you know what we've got coming up on tonight's show.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, the second half of the Rivals week, it was the Wildcats beating the Auburn Tigers last Saturday here in Tucson by 29 points. We'll take a look back at that game. Tonight they get the Auburn Tigers rival, the Alabama Crimson Tide, on the road. We'll preview that game. Our first look, as always, brought to you by Window Depot. Spotlight on a cap. This might have been one of the favorite interviews that I did in 2025. Had a chance to chat with walk-on guard Jackson Francois. He is the son of the athletics director at the University of Arizona, Desiree Reed Francois. We'll hear from Jackson on his life in college Athletics. DK with TL. My questions this week to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. We'll check your scoreboard. Big Saturday on the basketball side, and we've got some bowl games on the football side starting as well. Brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Who will be that Crimson Tide that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight? It's your pest of the game. Sponsored by Essential Pest Control and Casino del Sol. Can we beat the book tonight? Arizona, a 1.5-point favorite in this game in neutral road territory. The over-under, as high as we have seen it this season. It actually came down 1 point from when we looked at it yesterday. It is currently sitting at 177.5 on your over-under for Arizona and Alabama. All right, the Auburn Tigers last week. You heard the highlights there. A huge win, 29 points. Wildcats came out in a 16-2 run to start the second half to blow the doors open on that ball game. Defense was the calling card for a team in Auburn that had come in averaging over 80 points a game, and the Wildcats held them to 68. Tommy Lloyd impressed with what his kids gave him.
Yeah, I mean, great overall team effort defensively, and we want to hang our hat on, being a great defensive team, being a great rebounding team. I mean, those are, staples you can call on every night, and our guys, I thought, did a good job. Murph had a great scout. Our guys did a great job coming out and executing it with some effort and some energy, and we weren't perfect, but that wasn't the expectation. So, but overall, really happy. I thought Yvonne was great. I thought just our ball pressure was really good all night. I thought, we were in the passing lanes, kind of disrupting their rhythm. We did a great job contesting shots in the paint, and the glass was pretty even all day. I mean, I don't love them getting 16 offensive rebounds, but they're a great offensive rebounding team. So that's going to happen sometimes.
You heard him mention Murph. That's assistant coach Jack Murphy, who had that scout last week. You also heard him mention Ivan Karchenkov. Big ball game for the freshman out of Munich, Germany, as he had 12 points in the contest to go along with 5 rebounds. Really, one of those catalysts at the defensive end of the floor. Wasn't even sure the young man was going to play after he sprained his ankle the prior Saturday in Arizona's win over Norfolk State, but he was out there, and boy, did he bring it.
Yeah, I mean, I tweaked my ankle a little bit. Was banged up a little bit, but J-Rock took a really good care of me. It wasn't that bad, and we were just a little bit day to day, and took care of my foot. Did a lot of exercise, and yeah, just got me ready for this game.
Did you feel like in any way that you were limited tonight after having that injury?
No, I had 2 full team practices, and I felt pretty good. So no, I was pretty.
And you heard him mention J-Rock. That would be all-star trainer Justin Kakowski, one of the best trainers you're going to find in college basketball. Has been with this program ever since I got to town, and before that, Ivan Karchenkov, guys, we weren't sure what we were going to get, if he was going to be able to go. Tommy said it was overblown, that he wasn't healthy, and boy, did he show it last Saturday night.
Yeah, no, he definitely showed it. I mean, when Tommy said that he was going to play, he to me, he isn't a guy that messes around. He shoots pretty straight. So when he said it, hey, I expected him to be 100% go. So I wasn't surprised with his play. He did sprain it, but these guys, when you're in great shape and you get an injury like that, it doesn't take forever to come back. Right, so yeah, he went and put the work in with J-Rock. So yeah, when Coach said he was ready to go, I knew he would be himself.
Yeah, we talked about it after the game, Kelvin. I mean, you personally got some experience with high ankle sprains and what that's like, and it's he said right there, Ivan Karchenkov said it's day to day, and that's what it is. I mean, you sprain your ankle, hamstring stuff, and certain injuries, you can tell right away. That's going to be a week, that's going to be 2 weeks. But with an ankle sprain, Kelvin, it's really the next day, 12 hours later, 24 hours later. How much swelling? How much mobility? Do I have any loss? What's the pain threshold? All those things. I think Arizona kind of got a little bit lucky that Ivan Karchenkov's ankle injury wasn't that serious. It's not some kind of magic pill you give somebody, Kelvin. I mean, there's degrees to how much stress is put on that ankle. But we all know coming down on somebody else's foot when you're rebounding, that's pretty common. Just great to see the young man out there. And he didn't look to me like he was hobbling at all. It looked like he had full mobility.
12 points, 8 assists in the game for Ivan Karchenkov. And I talked about the defense. I mean, there was a stretch of about, I think, 1 minute there where the Wildcats went on a 7-0 run, where he affected the ball twice at the defensive end of the floor, including a poke out that led to fast break transitions. He ended it with that three-pointer, which you heard about Ryan Hansen alluding to in the highlights earlier. He's a young man who can do a lot of different things, and Tommy Lloyd says that's very valuable to this team.
It's huge because it just gives you a lot of options when you have somebody who you can put on another team's leading scorer, best player, who can give you multiple looks on defense. Whether it's he can give you a ball screen coverage, he can switch, he can get through screens, he can guard a post. I mean, those are really valuable things. And then offensively, if those guys have some playmaking ability, which Yvonne has and is really starting to show, it just really connects your offense and makes it so much easier. It takes so much pressure off your point guard's hands. And guys we've had do that here over the years, has been Appella Larson, Dalen Terry kind of played that role. So, that's just a really valuable role for us. And Yvonne's really growing into it. But I thought tonight was Dwayne's best game. He's played for us, and so, he's starting to finish on the break a little bit, and Dwayne is really just scratching the surface. So I'm excited to see how he continues to develop.
Well, we'll get to Dwayne Aristote as well. But I thought something interesting that he said there was the way he kind of phrased and described Ivan Karchinkov. They're almost describing him more as a defensive player first, offensive player second.
Well, a lot of times that gives you more value. When you're able to guard several different positions, coaches always mention that first because he's talking to the overall team, letting the team know you have to be more valuable than a guy that just can score. You have to be able to do several things. So, yeah, you want a coach to say that about you because basically he's saying that you're tough and you're interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't remember, like he had the primary assignment on Alex Caravan, right? Up in Storrs, Connecticut for UConn, who played 35 minutes and only got 5 shots in that game. Only got 5 shots in a game that they needed as a leader with their center out and obviously their 5-star freshman not playing in that game. Alex Caravan only got 5 shots off against Karchenkov. So DK, you've mentioned like it's hard sometimes to get a read and a scout on some recruits who come over. Kelvin, you don't have the AAU footage. You haven't seen them play in some of those big, national high school tournaments. But clearly, Karchenkov has been instructed by all of his teachers throughout his career that if you're going to stay on the court, Kelvin, in modern basketball, you bet, especially as a perimeter player, you better be able to match up. And you mentioned his stats from that other game, 12 points and 5 rebounds, but the 8 assists. Right? I mean, when you can get Karchenkov to get 8 assists in a game, Koa Pete has had 5 assists twice this year. It's those other guys, Kelvin. I mean, you think of the point guard racking up, some kind of 12 assist type of thing. That's like the standard. That's the guy who passes and other guys score. But in this offense, it's really whoever's open, and all of those guys are willing passers. Even, Moteus Krivas can find a cutter every once in a while. So it's just a lot of guys playing together, Karchenkov amongst them, loving to look for each other and finding each other in scoring positions.
Ivan Karchenkov on his role as kind of a young glue guy on this team.
Yeah, when I got here, I was kind of finding my role a little bit, and he told me to look at these guys, like you said, especially Pelle Larson, and just guide my game after them a little bit and find my spots where they found it a couple years ago, and it makes it pretty easy when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, Ivan Karchenkov, again, he's just 8 games in, though, looking like he's going to be a young man who could be a major, major piece to this program moving forward. You heard, obviously, the head coach mentioned Dwayne Aristote, his performance. Moteus Krivas also big in that game last week against Auburn. And we talked about it, J-Dub, on the show. I think it was yesterday. Just one of the things after going back and watching the tape that really impressed me was just the start to that second half. When you looked at that 16-2 run, and the first 2 big plays to me were just Moteus Krivas holding Auburn to 1 shot. Just being up there and getting that defensive rebound to start that offensive flow for Arizona.
I want to get Kelvin's take on this because we talked a lot about Moteus Krivas and his potential when he stepped on campus as a freshman. A really nice touch around the rim. And Kelvin, we talked about that potential at that size, the willingness potentially to be a good defender. What did you see in the start of that second half? Because he was so critical. They didn't get a single offensive rebound in that 16-2 stretch. It was just one and done, and Mo Krivas had a lot to do with that.
Well, it seemed like he went into that game, feeling like he was the biggest, toughest guy, and that's the way that he played. He came in and played huge. I mean, he was around the bucket. Every rebound that went up, he had his hands on it. I mean, for a minute, I thought he was a walker, the way that he was just grabbing things. But, just being aggressive and really making his presence felt, which is what you was looking for. In the beginning, it was more like he was an offensive guy his first, year coming in. But it seems like as he become a veteran, as he be in the program a little bit more, he's learning how to be an anchor on that side of the ball.
A little bit different mindset, a little bit different mentality, but starting to remind me a little bit of Azuolas Tubelis, just, quiet European tough guy kind of thing, And I talked about it yesterday with J-Dub, man, one of the plays during that stretch at the offensive end where he just put his shoulder down into that kid's chest and said, "You ain't stopping me from getting down low to get this jump hook here." I mean, Azuolas used to play like that. He was kind of the quiet guy, but then he would make a play, and you would see kind of that little bit of a mean streak come out in it. And I'm starting to see that from Krivas.
And you can tell that a guy get injured and he put in all that work in the weight room, and you can see that he believes that he's bigger and stronger because that's the way that he's playing. I mean, he's knocking guys back, going up and shooting his hook, not even worrying about guys blocking the shot or not. So the confidence is there because, as he said, he put in that work with J-Rock.
Absolutely. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd on the impressive play in this early season from Matejas Krivas.
Mo's a really good player. I mean, his size really impacted the game at the start, I felt like, and of each half. I mean, sometimes maybe our guys aren't doing as good a job as they can finding him on some stuff, but he kind of really established us offensively. I mean, they came out and did a kind of a cross-matching thing, that we weren't quite expecting. So we didn't really. Our guys figured it out on the court, and they had number 6 on Mo. So I mean, our guys kind of settled in, played some old school high-low basketball, and Mo got us going a little bit. So yeah, Mo's a really good player, and he's a difference maker out there. As is Tobe. I mean, the combination of those two guys together, I mean, it's it's a heavy load for teams to handle.
So that's the second game in a row that we've heard Tommy come out and say that a team tried kind of a little bit of a different defensive concept early on in these games. Teams trying to really figure out a way to throw this team off offensively, and the Wildcats having to kind of use those first few minutes of some of these games to kind of figure out what those teams are doing.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you got to come in and figure out now, who do we take away? Who could we get a matchup on, and maybe that they're not. So they say, oh, let's put a small guy on Krivas because they're not going to him. He's not a focal point on the offense. And as the coach said, the guys take their time and figure it out and go in to find them. And now they have to switch up their defense. Now they can go back playing the way that they normally play. So, it's cool when I hear Coach say it because I believe him now. I didn't necessarily believe him in his first year that he was actually letting guys play free. But when I watch the way that these guys play, it is hard to guard when it's working.
When there's 5 threats.
Yes, it's hard to guard when it's working because you don't know where they're going with the ball. They do their little action, and from there, any one of the 5 guys can attack you. So, yeah, man, I just think that, as they, continue to learn this system, the more effective they're going to be.
I think it's, pick your poison, the old adage. Like, we all know, watch every game this year that Arizona's played. Different guys have stepped up. What's the stats? 7 guys have scored 20, something like that. So it doesn't matter if you've got Cole Peak circled at the top of your scout, Kelvin, and that's the guy you think you got to take away. Well, JB gets 25, right? Because you're too focused. All your bigs are hustling over to keep Koa off the offensive glass. JB's getting busy by snaking his way through the lane and scoring a layup. So it really doesn't matter, what you do against them. And that's personally what I love about Coach Lloyd's philosophy. Clearly, you can tell his time in Spokane. I mean, how many trips did they make? Yeah. Every year he was there, they went to the NCAA tournament. Mark Few's never not been to the NCAA tournament. So they've had a lot of losses, Kelvin. A lot of losses in the NCAA tournament. And what do you do? You go back to the drawing board. What can we do? What could we done better? And the philosophy basically is whatever you bring at us, you're going to throw a man-to-man, we can handle that. You got a zone, that's fine. Some junk stuff, we can take care of that. Some kind of trap. Whatever you throw at us, we have the personnel, and we're all read in on what we need to do in those moments to be successful.
And I'll say this, for instance, when they tried to double Cole Pete and he threw the lob, Now, a young freshman that's trying to score, that's trying to get to the NBA, that's trying to show he's an All-American, he spins baseline, and he tries to beat both guys, and he jumps over the other three guys and dunks on everybody when his man was standing there wide open. So even if you get the dunk, your teammate is looking at you like, man, like it's about you. But when you're, one of your best players, one of the best players in the nation, a young freshman, 18, 19 years old, was playing basketball in high school last year, he gets the ball on the post, takes his time, look over his shoulder, and throw a lob right to the front of the rim. If you're a coach and you're going against this, you're like, what do I do? I'm going to go zone. I'm going to go zone, J-Dub, and just hope Walker's not in the game.
Hey.
Just hope Walker not in the game. I'm going zone and hope Walker not in the game.
Yeah, no, like if you had some kind of amoeba 2-3 matchup or whatever, that's the only defense I think that could give this team a little bit of hassle because it's that mix between zone and man. But you're right. I mean, they've shredded literally every half zone style that they've seen this year.
All right, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Arizona, the number 1 team in the country, on the road in Birmingham, Alabama for the CM Newton Classic against the 12th-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. 6th meeting all time between these two teams. We'll dive a little bit more into tonight's game when we come back. J.W. Madden and Kelvin Efon are here with me. I'm David Kelly. Thanks for coming aboard. We want to hear from you, 520-848-1290. Call us or text us. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks, Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here.
Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% interest up to 60 months. 25C tax credits. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. Plus 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' Cay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' Cay with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingCay.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Why do I spend so much time educating our youth about financial wellness? I have seen the fire ignite inside of young adults when I show them how the power of compound investing can change their futures. This is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management, and I'm committed to affecting change with our youth. An idea for all of you listening today, gift a Roth IRA contribution for the holidays or birthdays for your kids and grandkids. Contact our office at 520-719-1433 for guidance and details. The change begins with us.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Wildcat fans, why wait for a great night's sleep? At Factory Direct Mattress of Tucson, you get comfort for life and deals you can't get anywhere else. Shop top-rated brands like the award-winning Puffy, Lisa, and our FDM lineup, all at Factory Direct Savings. No gimmick, no pressure, just comfort that helps you wake up feeling like a champion. Find us at 3936 West Ina Road or at fdmtucson.com. That's fdmtucson.com. Easy to find, easy to save. Stop by today, sleep better tonight, and get ready for Arizona's next victory.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Left side, Woggy, back to Nelson. Shoots the three. Off, no good. Rebound ripped down by Bradley. Lead pass to Lewis. 2-on-1. KJ to the bucket and lay it in. Timeout, Alabama.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
That was almost exactly 2 years ago, December 20th. 2023 up in Phoenix at, I can't remember what that building was called back then. Who knows? They've gone through so many names in that building in downtown America West Arena in the last couple of years. But number 4 Arizona took down Alabama 87-74 in one of the Hall of Fame series games. That was the first in the series of games that this will be the third straight year now that the Wildcats will play a game up in Phoenix. That'll be a week from tonight. They'll play San Diego State this year. So Alabama 2 years ago, UCLA last year, and then San Diego State coming up this year. Jaden Bradley, really one of the few guys left that played in that game 2 years ago against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Tommy Lloyd really asked if, can you take anything away from that game 2 years ago that's useful for tonight?
Obviously, you can look at it as a little bit of a guide. I think both teams have a kind of an established identity and established style of play that probably has, changed a little bit, but probably not drastically. So, yeah, it could be a blueprint to go look at, but by no means does it mean, you go and did the things you did in that game and you're going to get the result you want. These are two different teams, and so, yeah, we're going to have to go out, and obviously it's going to be a really challenging environment against a really good team that has an ability to play at a really frenetic pace and can wear their opponents down. So we've got to have great endurance competitively this game.
And we talked about, obviously, that this is a team that's going to shoot a lot of three-pointers tonight, the Alabama Crimson Tide. They averaged 36 three-point attempts per game. That's number 3 in the country. They averaged 13 makes per game. That's number 4 in the country. So, again, it's a team that's going to fire it up. Now, they only make these at 35%, so that's 135th. So they shoot a lot of threes, but they aren't necessarily, quote, a great three-point shooting team. We always say 35% or more, and they're right at that number. So they shoot a lot, but they're not like they're not a quote great three-point shooting team. Nate Oates says they probably are going to need to shoot a lot of threes tonight against U of A.
Very distinctly different philosophy. Shoot, we just took 57 threes our last game. You double that, and that's what they got in 8 games pretty much. So they're taking 16 a game. We took 16 before the second media timeout last game, I think. So we're going to need to hit a few. we're more than capable of hitting a lot. I mean, everybody's going to try to take us off the 3-point line. I'm sure they'll try to do the same thing. They do a pretty good job defensively, and they're super physical, and they try to take you out of what you do. And we spread the floor out a lot more than them. They try to pound it inside, but they do a good job. I mean, they've got, he's been able to recruit some of the better bigs in the country, some of the more physical. Like Cole Pete at the 4 is a real matchup problem. They're 5-man 7-2, and he's skilled. So, they've got problems. They're going to score some 2s. We understand it. We're going to have to score some 3s and some 2s both. And, the interesting thing with them is a lot of the post-up teams like them will play very slow and make sure they methodically they actually play pretty fast. They try to run it up your throat. Jaden Bradley, who was great for us, we were the number 1 overall seed, and he started the majority of the games that year, and he understands how to play fast. He'll push the ball. I mean, he'll get in the paint before the bigs get down there if you don't get back, get your defense set. So they do a really good job of playing fast and playing inside, once they get in the half court. So we got to do a great job in transition. We got to do a great job our post D. We got to do a great job keeping the ball out on drives, and we got to rebound it. The defensive rebounding on our end is going to be a big deal.
They have taken 200 more 3-point shots than Arizona. 325 taken this season for Alabama, 128 taken this season for Arizona.
Yeah, that's the style of play, man. And I tell you, man, a lot of times with these teams, especially when you have these transfer portal teams and teams that don't know each other a lot, the coaches want to cut down on the turnovers by taking the first good look that they get, right? And then from there, it forces you to close out. It forces you to spread the floor, which opens up driving lanes. So there's a philosophy to what they're doing. They're not just jacking up 3s. They're forcing you to come out. And I tell guys this all the time. Even if you can't shoot, if you shoot it, you're a threat. You're a threat now because you could get lucky and they can start falling and it can hurt your team. So that's going to draw people out, which opens up the lane to have those abilities to go get some 2-pointers in there.
Yeah, let's be really clear here. The Arizona Wildcats are the anomaly. Everybody else is running 5-out sets and 4-out sets. Everybody else is putting 4 and 5 shooters because they're copying what the NBA is doing. The NBA is all 4 and 5-out sets. You put 4 shooters or 5 shooters on the court, DK, and you have them move to spots on the corners, on the wings, and at the top of the key in shooting position. And what does that do? Kelvin said it. Spacing for driving. So the whole philosophy is we're going to take a bunch of 3s, and when you overcommit to trying to defend that 3-point line, we're going to drive right past you into all that open space because all 4 of our guys are above the 3-point line, and we're going to get right to the rim and get layups. So the issue being, if you've got 4 or 5 shooters on the court that you're defending, you cannot overcommit to defending those guys because they're trying to get you to do that. They're not trying to take all 3s. They're trying to get open driving lanes so they can get layups.
So that is what Tommy Lloyd talked about this week. He said there are absolutely 2 things that this Arizona team cannot do. One of them is you cannot try to match Alabama's 3-point volume.
You have things you value, and you have an identity, and you make sure you're honoring your values and you're honoring your identity. It's not much more complicated than that. We're going to play Arizona basketball. They're going to play Alabama basketball. Both styles can be really effective, and probably both teams are going to have to kind of figure it out over the course of the game.
The other thing that Tommy talked about this week, he says that you cannot overcommit, like you mentioned right there. You can't overcommit to defending the 3-point shot against Alabama.
If you're so committed to taking away the 3 and you're spacing the floor with the shooters, obviously, there's not a lot of bodies left to help in the paint. So, you got to kind of pick your poison with some of this stuff, and it always starts with the best job in any defense. The better job you can do on the ball, the better chance you have to be successful. So you want to do a good job on the ball. You want to have great discipline, and that's not easy because they put you in a lot of tough situations.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what you guys were talking about right there. If you overcommit to defending the 3, there's going to be abilities for these guards, and these are 2 really good guards that you're going to see to be able to drive the ball in the
just
paint.
Kelvin, look at the Warriors from 2014 until maybe last year, 2 years ago, or whatever. When Clay was there and Steph, and they had their legs and they could run around the court. And you're talking about surrounding those two guys with Harrison Barnes or other shooters. That's how many layups have you seen Steph Curry? Steph Curry's not the quickest footed dude, but he gets layups wide open at the rim because Coach Steve Kerr's entire philosophy is just that: motion, spread, shooters, driving lanes.
520-848-1290 is the number for you if you want to get in on any of the conversation. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. It is our first look at U of A and Alabama. Let's hear from Anthony Del Orso on the topic of does U of A need to match Alabama 3 for 3?
Yeah, just being disciplined. Obviously, getting out there, knowing what they want to do, contesting them as best as we can, and then making sure we, rebound those long shots, trying to turn them into fast break points for us. I don't think there's any pressure to change who we are as a team. I think we'll just stick to what we've been doing all year, and if they're hitting a bunch of threes, doesn't mean we have to shoot a bunch of threes. So I think we'll just play it by ear.
There you go. And again, this has been we've seen a pretty disciplined team so far this season. And like you said, sticking with what they do and what has worked for them. So it's going to be an interesting contrast of styles tonight to see which one is better. I mean, I think it was Alabama last year set the NCAA tournament record for three-pointers in a tournament game last year. So
we should remind.
I think that was against BYU, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
We should also remind listeners that this game was supposed to be last year.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to play last year, but the Pac-12 dissolved. Arizona moved to Big 12. Everybody said we got to have a UCLA Bruins versus Arizona Wildcats game on the schedule. So the UCLA versus Arizona game in 2024 is what replaced this Alabama game, and it got moved to this year.
There you go. There you go.
So what I'm saying is that last year, they've been proficient. They've been in top 10 in the country, Kelvin, in 3-point attempts per game for the past, I think, 5-6 years. Nate Oates has been doing that for a long time. But last year's team, DK, like you said, setting the NCAA record, Arizona did not see that team, but they're going to see a lot of threes tonight regardless.
So that night in the NCAA tournament, that was in the Sweet 16, they took 51 3-point shots against BYU and made 25. If they shoot 50% tonight, they're going to, I don't, U of A's in trouble.
Yeah, and I expect them to be a little hot, excited. They're playing the number one team in the country, so they're going to be locked in. So our guys are going to have to, as usual, as they've shown, come out locked in, and ready to execute the game plan and ready to, get through the storm. They might hit a few, and you still got to come in and attack. Because one thing about going for twos is that's how you get people in foul trouble, right? When you shoot a lot of threes, you're trying to chase down long rebounds. You're not necessarily wearing down the defense and working the defense. I think the way that we move the ball to side and Core Pete beating on them, getting to the basket, same thing with Crevis over there, I think that makes it tough, and that gets some people in foul trouble, and it changes the way you want to play.
And they're also used to sprinting and shooting and sprinting and shooting and sprinting and shooting, right? 7 seconds or less type stuff. And that, Kelvin, is to keep defenses off balance that aren't maybe used to playing at that pace. Arizona is very comfortable, playing at that pace that Alabama's looking to do. So as far as them just out sprinting and out fast breaking and out running in secondary 3-pointers like Alabama's used to doing, as you just said, they're going to have to put a lot of effort into containing guys like Koa Pete and Moteas Krivas in the paint on the defensive end. So they're probably going to have to go a little bit deeper than normal and have a lot of guys with some tired legs as well, because Arizona's going to run too tonight.
The good news is that Mark Sears, who made 10 of those threes in the tournament last year, he is graduated and gone. So there you go. That is your first look at Arizona and Alabama.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
And don't forget, Window Depot also sponsors Arizona's top rebounding performance every night. It's the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Might be the Wildcat who has the most boards. Could be the U of A start with the most impactful rebounds. We'll tell you the Window Depot glass cleaner of the game coming up tonight on the post-game show.
By the way, guys, Mark Sears plays for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
He's played in 7 games. He shot 8 3-pointers.
Wow.
8 3-pointers in 7 games versus the 15, 20 per game he was doing last year.
Yeah, NBA is a much different animal once you get there in that league right there. All right. Coming up, we are going to shine a spotlight on a cat, and it's a walk-on cat, Jackson Francois. You'll hear from him next. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. The pregame show continues after this timeout on Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Season's greetings from Pixrox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. The end of the year is near, but you do not need to fear. We can help you keep your budget in the clear. Now until the end of December, there are still federal tax credits, TEP rebates, and manufacturer rebates on select HVAC systems and tankless water heaters. Call 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picturerox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
The holidays are here, and so are the Red Tag savings on new Chevrolets at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got Red Tag inventory and pricing on the latest Silverado, Equinox, and Traverse models, and yes, we have inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing on brand new Chevys and unwrap great holiday deals and unbeatable pricing all season long. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Looking for top-notch lumber and framing? Johnson Manley Lumber has been your trusted expert since 1970, specializing in both residential and commercial projects. Our experienced teams, cutting-edge technology, and reliable supply chain ensure your framing is on time and on budget every time. We're proud to be employee-owned and community-rooted in Tucson. Learn more at johnsonmanley.net. Proud supporter of the University of Arizona radio broadcast. Go Wildcats.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the Ghost Pepper Challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pests.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our Black Friday week of savings has been extended into December. Right now, every set of tires is on sale and you can stack on manufacturer's rebates for even more savings, up to $180 more. We've also got popular maintenance services at up to 50% off to get you road trip ready for all your holiday travel. Jack Furrier's 14 area locations are ready to help. So call, stop by, or visit us online at jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Arnold to Jopmo in backcourt. Spin midcourt, feed it ahead. Francois He'll shoot it. It's up, and it's good. Jackson Francois. That's his first bucket in a regulation game.
Our pregame show Spotlight on a Cat is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
First basket in college for Jackson Francois. Played 2 seasons at Missouri, and this is his second season at the University of Arizona. He is now, in his career, 1 for 4. He'd taken 2 shots as a freshman, 1 as a sophomore. Didn't take any shots last year, and that's his only shot so far this year. 1 for 4 in college.
Kelvin,
getting his first
if
bucket.
you get in and there's a minute and a half left, you better not pass that ball because everybody's trying to get shots up, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't get any shots up last year because he didn't force a shot, right? That last minute or two, get him up.
Yeah, he's a senior now, so he's going for it. He wanted to make sure he had some memories for sure.
Exactly. Wants to get you got to get your name in the scorebook at least one time. That's for sure. He is the son of U of A Vice President, Director of Athletics, Desiree Reed Francois. Her husband, obviously, Josh Francois as well. We had a chance to catch up with Jackson, and I asked him about his first season here last year, being a part of that team that went to the Sweet 16 for U of A.
No, it was great. We made a Sweet 16, and hopefully we can build on that this year. Made some great friends. It was awesome. It's one of those experiences you look back in 15, 20 years, you're like, holy cow, I sat right down there when Caleb made the half-court shot. It's pretty awesome. So it's like I'm living a dream. At the end of the day, that's what it's like. And yeah, so it was really fun.
All right, so now when Mom comes to you and says, we're leaving to go to Arizona and we're leaving to go to Tucson, is your first question well, am I going to be able to play am I going to be able to be on the team there?
All right, so it was a little complicated because I committed to Missouri before she got there.
Oh, was that right? Okay.
And it's the absolute definition of helicopter parenting is that I'm going to college 2,000 miles away. I can't wait, right?
So that's why she went to Missouri.
And now it's like, the day before my senior year, yeah, Jackson, I'm going to follow you to college. I'm like, great. That's awesome. And you know what? It worked perfectly. It's what it did, right? We had a rough year the year before I got there at Missouri. She fired the coach I committed to, and but it was awesome. It worked out unbelievable there, and you know what? It's working out really well here. It's one of those experiences, right? I saw the SEC, and now I saw the Big 12. It's something that's really cool, and it was a change, but it was for the better.
So now you went to the high school, Bishop Gorman, in Las Vegas.
I did.
What was that like?
As much as everyone likes to think is IMG Academy, it's not. We do have prom. We do have a real high school. And, what's great is I have a fellow Bishop Gorman Gale here, Jake Lastra, that's a manager out here. So
okay.
I loved Bishop Gorman. I loved Vegas. It's probably where I've lived the longest now. I've moved around. But you know what? It's awesome.
So you categorize yourself as a Vegas kid then?
I do. So my hometown on there, you got the bio pulled up. It does say Las Vegas.
Right. But where were you born?
I was born in Fresno. I've lived in 7 states.
Yeah, right. You're all over the place.
I'm a gypsy. I don't have a hometown. At the end of the day, you might say wherever you're from.
No, I'm from Cleveland, and
You're from Cleveland.
I'm from Cleveland.
Exactly.
That's my town.
Exactly. See, I used to live in Cincinnati, but I'm from America.
You're from America. There you go. We're all from America. We can definitely agree on that. Jackson Francois joins us. So I got to ask you because I'm from Cleveland. I got to know my buddy calls the games for Cleveland State.
Yep.
So I had met Dennis Gates a number of times before he left Cleveland State to go to Missouri. What was that like playing for Dennis?
Coach Gates is awesome. Yeah. He's a father figure to me. He's a second father to me, and I'm forever indebted to Coach Gates. And I think about what I do in my daily life is impacted by Coach. And he'll always be Coach to me, and Coach Lloyd will always be Coach to me, and I'm blessed to have both of those. But he's a father figure to me. It's what he is. He's unbelievable as a person. He's unbelievable as a coach. And I'm forever indebted to Coach Gates.
So what was your first impression of Tommy Lloyd then?
You know what? My first impression of him was that, A, I looked at the roster, and I was like, darn, we're good. We're really good. And B, I was like, what he does in a basketball sense is second to none. he's able to break down the game. He's able to teach the game. He's able to connect with his players, and it's something that, as a transfer, I really appreciate.
So growing up around college athletics, what was that like for you? What did you like about what you saw and the things your mom was doing and the events you would get to go to in all these different cities that you were in? What was fun about that for you?
It was awesome, right? My favorite team changed every couple of years
Right,
outside
yeah.
of but it was really fun. We got to I met a coach when I was 5 years old in Maui, right? Like I'm walking, and then I committed to that coach 13 years later as a 17-year-old. So I think those are just those experiences. You're like, wow, like you don't want to take it for granted, right? And so I have done my best to memorize those experiences, whether I was at Tennessee, whether I was at Virginia Tech, whether I was at UNLV. I think those experiences are those are my childhood. Is I lived through football and basketball seasons compared to years,
right?
So I think that's kind of the way I put it.
All right, so tell us about your game. Because we get to see you sparingly out there, but what's Jackson's game like? What got him the ability to be able to play on the college level?
I can really defend. I'd like to say I take pride in being an on-ball defender and a off-ball defender. And then I hopefully, depending on the day, I can shoot the basketball all right. And I do my best to bring energy. What my role is to be a walk-on, right? We're not going to play a lot, but you know what? We bring a lot of energy, and I want to make JB smile. I want to make Koa smile. I want to be able to be a positive influence.
What do you think it's like for your mom on game nights? When you're out there and on the floor, is she nervous, Mom, or is she is she telling you when you get home, here's what I didn't like you did, here's what you need to do? What's that like?
All right, so one thing about my mom is she doesn't really know
basketball.
She knows basketball.
Okay.
Right? I'm not gonna say the athletic director does not know basketball. I would never say that. But so my dad played basketball. I've been in basketball first. She knows what's good and what's bad. So she's judging my body language. So my first game of college, I airballed my first shot, and you might have thought the world was ending. But you know what? It was she knows. She's probably a little anxious. She's like, oh, it's my kid, right? Oh, and she's like, oh, my kid's hair is bad today, whatever. But it's great on that aspect. Is it? She I don't think she's as anxious as I was when I was a freshman, right? I was unexperienced,
Right.
looked like a deer, literally looked like a 14-year-old. And so I think she's calmed down a little bit.
What are you studying here in school?
So I am I'm an applied humanities with a focus in business major, but I really want to go to law school. And so I did an internship at a sports agency at CAA, which I was indebted was awesome. It was an unbelievable experience. And then I really want to go to law school and kind of figure it out from there. I think I want to stay working in college sports, which my mom would probably be like, wow, you're really going to do the same thing I did? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, she did a pretty good job
So
at
what
it.
does Dad do? What's his gig?
So I don't know if that's a Daktronics scoreboard, but my dad works for Daktronics.
Okay.
And he sells scoreboards, but he worked in college athletics too, and that's where they met at San Jose State. So it's a long time before me, but I didn't say my mom's old on the radio. That'd be mean. But it was awesome. It was awesome.
And you're the only child, is that correct?
I'm the only child, so
All
I'm the only
right,
child.
one.
I've
Man,
lived in
spoiled. You're kind of like me, spoiled.
I know. It's you and I. There you go. They yeah, I'm the only child. I've moved around a lot. Got a dog. Got a cat. My mom saved a cat from a casino. It's a long story from a different radio show. She
saved a cat from a casino.
So we had a radio show when we were at UNLV, and I'll never forget this. I was probably in 8th grade, and she's like, yeah, you guys are at the radio show. So at UNLV, the radio shows are at the casinos.
Right, yeah.
Of course. And she's like, I can't come. I saved this cat, and from a drunk guy. And I'm like, what happened? And so next thing you knew, we ended up with a foster cat that became a full-time cat, and he's lived in 3 different states as well. So he really made the best out of his situation.
All right, for those of us that like to go to Las Vegas a lot, what's the one thing that Jackson Francois loves to do in his adopted city that we need to do when we go there? Whether it's like a restaurant or something to see, or what do you love to do?
I mean, there's so much in Vegas, right? And you don't have to gamble, you don't have to, but like I really like just the Ferris wheel at the link is it's really cool. It's really
never
pretty.
gotten on that. I'm not. I'm a little bit. I would do that because I don't like the open Ferris wheels, but I would do that because it's
those are closed.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
enclosed.
Vegas is a great sports town.
Yeah.
It really is. I think the hockey games are great. The food is unreal, right? Like any place in Vegas down the strip, it's gonna
Do you have a favorite restaurant? What's your
the Golden Steer is a steakhouse that
Okay.
is probably go for your birthday or something like that. It's unbelievable. But like even the little cut-ins like right off the strip, you're like, wow, like I can't believe I'm standing here right now. They're unbelievable. And I think that's the beauty of Vegas is that as much as touristy as it is that it's a city and like people live there and it gets a bad rap on that aspect.
Are you looking forward to the A's moving there?
So my mom is a huge Oakland A's fan.
Exactly.
Oh, she's from the Bay Area.
Bay Area.
So her grandmother was buried with the A's cap.
Oh, wow.
She is no longer an A's fan now that they've moved out of her hometown.
I like that.
She's not a
I
fan
like
of the
that.
Sacramento
I
A's.
like that.
I was going to say, you lost your football team probably,
Right,
and so
yeah.
she's not a fan of the Sacramento A's.
No,
and so when we get to Vegas, we'll reevaluate.
We'll see,
But
right?
currently we're Cincinnati Reds fans. So.
Okay. Now, I know her brother Roman is very important to her. What's he meant to your life, Uncle Roman?
You know, he's just an inspiration. What the challenges that he goes through every day, you're like, wow, like, I mean, they're unheard of, right? Like, people don't deserve to go through what he deserves through, and what he does is he attacks every day with a smile, and you know, you breathe, and you eat, and you sleep, and you realize, wow, what he's done with his challenges is just as big as an impact as my mom has made, right? Like, I'm immensely proud of him. I look up to him, and he's someone that I can always call, and I appreciate that for him.
Has he given you any advice that you kind of follow, having
Yeah.
been a athlete himself?
Yeah, so he's given me some great advice. He he always said to breathe, right? Like, I mean, you know, sometimes you're not on the court a whole lot, right? And you get on the court and you're like, right? Like, so I think that's something that's important. And so he told me to slow down, enjoy the moment, right? I'm playing at Arizona, like that's awesome.
What do you think of this new court here?
It's unbelievable. I didn't know green went on a basketball court until I saw the cactus logo, and I mean, I think they did a great job of the modern day take on the logo. I'm definitely going to shoot some shots and warm-ups from over there and see if I can make them.
Who's gonna have the highest logo percentage on this team?
I hope no one shoots any shots from the logo. I hope we take good shots. That would be that would make me really happy. I'm telling you, they did a great job. Thank you to Desert Diamond and making sure that
Look at you,
we have a
shouting
good court.
out the corporate sponsors, man. You know the drill.
I may or may not have been trained for 15 years
My wife
for
works
this.
at Banner, so I got to shout out Banner.
Shout out Banner.
University Medical Center.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly. But no, you know what? They did a phenomenal job. Like, I mean, it's the best court in the country. It's second to none. Maybe the checkerboard at Tennessee is up there, but like, this is unbelievable.
Jackson, appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us, brother.
Awesome. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Congratulations on being here, and good luck with year 2.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bear down.
That's today's Spotlight on a Cat, brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
There's never a good time for plumbing issues.
No.
Honey, my parents are here.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. With Drain Masters in Tucson, not only do you get local, professional, full-service plumbing with 24/7 scheduled or emergency service, you get a lifetime transferable warranty on all house water repiping. So this
They brought my aunts and uncles, too.
is gonna be fine. Drain Masters, we do it all. And now offering financing. Solid service, fair price, guaranteed. DrainMastersTucson.com.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Oh,
Hold on. That wasn't Santa's sleigh. That was a Blazer EV flying off the lot at the Red Tag event at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got Red Tag pricing on the latest electric Chevys, and yes, we have the inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing and supercharge your holidays with shockingly great deals that'll make your old gas tank jealous. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. EVs at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez at Meridian Wealth Management. And one of the hardest things I witness is when someone passes and they hadn't updated their beneficiaries properly beforehand. We all experience change in our lives, marriage, divorce, kids, and we work very hard for what we have. Leaving your legacy exactly the way you desire is important. This is your reminder to review all of your beneficiary designations today and at least annually. Seek guidance if you need it. Call our office at 520-719-1433 for more information.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of five-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent.
But it shows in the low, low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 11,000 five-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good. Previous turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our window depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Pete to Bradley. And the Wildcats can take a little bit of time here. They're up by one. Again, they can't run the clock out. But obviously they want a good shot. Bradley looking over at Tommy Lloyd, standing dribble. Shot clock at 15. They're going to let it get down to about 10 here. Put the play in motion. Bradley steps around a screen. Spin move right. Now needs to get to work. Jumper, turn around, goes to the bucket, lay it up and good. Oh, what a beautiful move by Jaden Bradley. And the Cats up by 3. 16 seconds left.
Let's take a look at the Right Way rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
That was the late offensive set in Storrs, Connecticut to help the Wildcats knock off the number 3 Yukon Huskies back on November the 19th, 71-67. Arizona has won 4 games this season over top 25 opponents, and in those games, senior point guard Jaden Bradley is averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, while shooting 56% from the field. Hour number 2 of our pregame show, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly, Kelvin Efon, J.W. Madden also along. We are going to dive in this hour. DK with TL is straight ahead. My questions this week to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. We'll check your scoreboard. The Army-Navy game today being played on the football side. It was close at last check. We had the Celebration Bowl, the HBCU championship game. That was a game to watch for sure. The Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers scoreboard. Scouting report. We'll hear from the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nate Oates, as always, the scouting report brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Can we beat the book tonight? Arizona, a 1.5-point favorite in this game. Over under a sky-high 177.5 because both of these teams know how to score the basketball. Your view from courtside tonight is going to be an interview we had this week with Preston Kirk. He is with Knight Eady. Knight Eady is the outfit down in Birmingham that puts on the CM Newton Classic. We'll talk a bit about CM Newton. Most people remember CM Newton as the athletics director at Kentucky, more so the basketball coach at Alabama, but he was very integral in integrating the basketball team at the University of Alabama back in the 1970s. Keys to the game, starting lineup, all of that is still straight ahead. Let's hear from the head coach.
For all the questions you need answered, it's DK with TL. Our David Kelly asks Tommy Lloyd questions, and you get the answers. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
Jaden Bradley heading back to the place where he started his college career. He was an Alabama Crimson Tide for one season before coming over here to the University of Arizona. JB playing for the Tide back during the 22-23 season and started 22 games that season for Alabama, shooting 39% from the floor, averaging 6 points per ball game to go along with 3 rebounds. But again, he was here 2 years ago. Not a starter, but a top reserve when the Wildcats beat Alabama up in Phoenix. So it's not something he hasn't done before, playing his old team, although this will be his first trip down there to do so. Tommy Lloyd this week did not think that this was any type of revenge game for Jaden Bradley.
I don't think so. I mean, obviously I'll let JB speak for himself, when he gets the opportunity. But Jaden's not a vindictive person. I don't think his experience at Alabama, the transfer was because he feels slighted in any way, shape, or form, and he made a decision to transfer to Arizona, and I think at that point there's no looking back, and that's how he approaches it. So, I mean, obviously he has some ties there, and people will probably try to make it a story when I really honestly don't think it's much of a story on either side.
Tommy, when you see a team shoot 57 three-point shots and you're watching that tape, I mean, what do you think? What are you thinking about that?
Well, obviously they're comfortable shooting a lot of threes. Nate's done a great job at Alabama. I mean, they have a real identity and a real conviction to how they play. And if you have an identity and a conviction and it's well coached, you can almost win any way. So obviously we know it's a great challenge for us, and we've got to do a good job defending the three-point line. But usually when the three-point line, you also get hurt by layups, and the combination of those two things together are kind of the backbreaker. So you got to play good all-around defense. You can't just get fixated with one thing and feel like you did a good job protecting the three-point line, but then they make a bunch of layups and free throws. That's also a recipe for a tough night.
Tommy, when you look at the confidence that Yvonne is displaying out there, is that simply because he comes from a European club situation where he's playing with a lot of older guys?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you could probably chalk some of it up to that. But the other thing is he's just a confident person. He's a confident person, and he's a hard worker, and he prepares well. So, I mean, I think, his confidence is probably something he's carried with him his entire basketball career. And so, there's not too many stages where I think he feels overwhelmed, and he's not surprised by too many things. So obviously, we're very happy with where he's at, and I'm excited to see him continue to take the next steps.
Braden stayed out of the early foul trouble in the last game, picked up a few late, but what did you just like about the way he defended?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think Braden is really trending in the right direction, and obviously we know how good of a player he is, and I think his practice habits are picking up. I think his comfort in these games is picking up, and I'm excited to see, in 2 weeks what Braden Burries looks like, because I think he's in a sweet spot right now where if he goes for it, there's real growth opportunities, right in front of him.
Tommy, I know you've downplayed the number one rankings and all of the rankings, but was there a different step at all in the team being number one this week?
Nope.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with TL is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
Jaden Bradley's return to Alabama. Again, spent his freshman year there after being a McDonald's All-American in high school in Rochester, New York. So second time he'll play his old school, first time back down there. But again, guys, Jaden, I think we've said it so many times, he's a very even-keeled kid. I'm sure that there'll be maybe a little bit more emphasis for him. But I don't know that he's thinking about this game really any more so than he does any other game.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think in this day and time, kids or young men are used to moving around and having to go, to different schools. And I feel like him playing well at Arizona, being a starter, that puts that behind you. I mean, if he's not playing, right, and now all of a sudden you get a chance to play, you could be on some type of revenge tour, or you want to really take it to those guys. But I guarantee you there's not many guys that even on this team that he even played with, one. So it's tough to have some type of rivalry there. And then secondly, it was all business with him and the coach. The decision to come there was, pretty much business, and the decision to leave was pretty much business. So, no, the guy that I have been accustomed to as far as Bradley is concerned, I can't see him focusing on that. He's just there to win.
Yeah, I just think from the outside looking in, Jaden Bradley saw what Nate Oates' system was, and he gave a lot of freedom to the guards. And he thought, Kelvin, hey, these guys are running up and down. They got a lot of freedom. Guards get to get busy with it. That seems like fun. I'm going to go there. His year on campus maybe come to realize that position requires 10 3-pointers a game. And that might not fit what Jaden Bradley's style of game is, Kelvin. I mean, he might not have been looking at the future and thinking, I could hone my game to be a great outside shooter, but that takes away from my New York ability to get busy in the lane and get right to the rim. So I don't think, again, just like you said, from what I understand, now we haven't talked about the issue with Miller, and he was there and the whole deposition, and there was that happened when his freshman year on campus. We don't know if that played any role of him leaving, but what we do know is that he's been on campus. It was Pelle Larson. Like, how many times did Pelle Larson get asked about going to play the Utes? Right? Played like 6 times after he left campus there. I think if there's some kind of crazy animosity, if there's some big spat or public issue, or there's some issue with the player gets in trouble, potentially with the administration or whatever, then there's a story. But JB just saw, maybe this wasn't the style for me, and he moved to Arizona, and we've welcomed him with open arms, and he's been great here for the Arizona Wildcats.
Since you brought up the Brandon Miller trial there, JW, let's go to the 10s. Let's see, because Tommy Lloyd did address that. He was asked this week on if maybe Jaden having to go back and testify in that trial was maybe part of the reason why he struggled at times last season.
I mean, again, I'm going to let Jaden speak for himself. I mean, Jaden and I haven't had any conversations about that stuff. I mean, obviously we support Jaden in everything he's done, but I'll let him speak to that himself. And like I said, I think Jaden Bradley is about 100th percentile when it comes to character and person, and so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll let him speak to that stuff.
I mean, it's got to be tough because you were involved in a situation where somebody lost their life. I mean, even if you were, just there or a witness or anything. I mean, being a witness to something like that can obviously affect a young person. So that certainly probably was something that he had to work through last year as he was trying to focus on his first season as the starting point guard here at the University of Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's tough right there. I mean, and what's crazy is I didn't even realize, I didn't even think about that he was there during that situation. So, wow. I mean, for him to be able to fight through and to, to be able to come out on this end where he's a senior now and, with his head on straight is just great. But that'll make you want to get away from someplace, man. What do you mean? I didn't even think about that. Yeah. That's why he tried. If I was his dad, I was like, we out of here, man. We ain't finna stay around stuff like this going on, man. I don't care if everybody left the team. We out.
Yeah, that was a real wrong place, wrong time kind of situation.
We out of there.
Absolutely. Let's go back. Let's hear from Jaden Bradley and just kind of his mindset about these games, big games on the road. Not the first time the Wildcats have done it this season, and just how he feels about going into environments like they're going to see tonight in Birmingham.
No feeling. Just another away game for us. We got to be great on the road. That's where championships and conference and March Madness, that's where championships are won at away from home. So we got to put our hard hats on and, go win this game.
And that's that mindset we've kind of been talking about the way they've set up this schedule, NCAA tournament style. You got to go into these neutral environments, and you got to be able to win games like this to get to where you want to be, to take that final step, to get back to the Final Four that's eluded this program now for going on what'll be 25 years coming up in 2026. And Jaden Bradley, in terms of these games against the top flight competition, you heard the play at the top, broke down UConn to get a late shot, had some big shots at the end of the UCLA game when they went ISO to help them win that game. Tommy Lloyd this week on how Jaden plays, especially in these games, especially when there's a top flight point guard on the other side of the coin.
I don't think his pulse changes, when it's a perceived big time matchup or anything like that. I think he just goes out and plays, and he kind of has that ice in his veins type approach. And I don't know if it's going to work every day, but obviously it's been really successful so far this season, and I don't want to put the pressure on Jaden to save the day for us every game. I don't think that's fair to any player. So. He just obviously he's a guy that's not afraid of big moments and big games, and he's performed really well in those.
How different of a player is he now compared to the guy you saw when recruiting?
Well, he's obviously gotten more polished, and that just comes with with time. And I'm not gonna give ourselves any credit above and beyond. I think JB gets all the credit. I mean, he's hung with it. He's developed some really. A lot of certainty in his game where he can go out there and he can play and execute with confidence. So Jaden gets a lot of credit. I mean, he's obviously a really good player, and he's put in a lot of work to become that player.
And guys, he went to IMG, right?
Yeah.
Kelvin?
Yeah.
So, I mean, between AAU, and I know he grew up in Rochester, but then his family moved to Charlotte. So he's got a lot of background of playing in different environments. But as far as playing against top flight opponents, Kelvin, I mean, he's been doing that in practice, and any kind of matchups he's got, because he's been playing big boy basketball for some time. It's not like he came from a small school, McDonald's All-American and all those things. So he's had some experience in big games versus top flight guards.
It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We want to shout out, we've got a new sponsor on board with us for the remainder of this season. So appreciate the folks over at Factory Direct Mattress for being a part of our U of A men's basketball broadcasts here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll get your scouting report and a whole lot more. We're going to hear from Nate Oates, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Boy, what he has done. You'll remember him. He was the guy that beat the Wildcats when he was at Buffalo back in, I think that was 2018 or 19. And now he's moved up to Power 4 and has really turned Alabama into one of the best programs in the country. We'll hear how he has done that coming up straight ahead. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Hughes Federal Credit Union has an online account that fits your needs and lifestyle. With our free checking account, there are no monthly fees and no minimum balance. 24/7 mobile and online banking, unlimited bill pay, a free Visa debit card with your choice of designs, and a vast network of fee-free ATMs. Or upgrade to a checking plus rewards account that offers discounts, deals, valuable services, and so much more. It's easy to sign up online at hughesfcu.org/checking. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Right Way will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. Get 0% interest up to 60 months. 25C tax credits. $3,000 trade-in for your old AC. Plus 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Have an aging heating and air system out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today. 520-201-8220.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Alabama's got to move the ball around. You don't want to get into an isolation situation where the defense can watch you, but we're going to watch LeBaron Philon go to work.
Time now for a look at today's Wildcat opponent. The Scouting Report is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Furrier, since 1960, here to get you there.
The Alabama Crimson Tide are under the direction of Nate Oates as their head coach. He is out of Marantha Baptist, played there in 1998, seventh season at University of Alabama. His AD, of course, Greg Byrne, who is the former AD here at the University of Arizona. Nate Oates, let's hear from him on the team he brings into season number 7, coming off a year in which this team, and a tenure really in which this team has taken this program to the heights of being one of the best in the country.
They're number 1 in the country for a reason. Just the way we want it. We like to play best teams in the country in the non-conference, test ourselves, know where we're at, see what we got to do to get better. We're somewhere in that we both would like to play fast. They do a great job in transition, pushing it. Different once we get in the half court. They try to score all the points in the paint. They don't take that many threes. They only take 16 a game. I think they're 363rd out of 365 in three-point rate in the country. We're obviously taking a lot more. We play a lot more on the perimeter. Floor's a lot more open. They definitely try to punch it inside. They've got very good guards, though, as well, so it's not like the only thing they've got going is their front court. Their front court's really good. They rely on them a lot to score, but they're really good guards, too. Just they play a lot different than we do. So we're going to have to try to defend the paint. It's a lot easier said than done with their size, physicality, the way they emphasize getting it in there. We're going to have to stop them in transition to start with, and we got to finish the possessions with rebounding the ball, which we've struggled a little bit with, and they're great at. So this game will be great for us to see if we've been able to improve on some of the stuff we need to improve on. As far as the injury front goes, I think Keaton and Taylor both practiced pretty much everything they could do, and I think Taylor looks great. As long as Keaton doesn't have any setbacks, I anticipate him playing. Holloway, very limited practice yesterday. We'll see how he feels this morning, see what he can do today, and then that's going to have to probably end up being a game day decision, see how his wrist is feeling. So other than that, we should be good to go. Looking forward to getting up in Birmingham. Hopefully we got a packed out crowd. Great, because Arizona's good, number 1 in the country. I think our fans need to understand this doesn't happen all the time, that you're able to get this quality opponent come into your state and play.
Yeah, Coach, with Jaden Bradley, just how different is he than when he was here 3 years ago, and maybe how similar when you watch film do you kind of see the same player?
Yeah, I mean, he was really good when he was here. We were number 1 in the country, and he started a bulk of the year as our point guard. I mean, you think of some of our big wins that year, he's a big part of them. Similar in that he's all about the winning stuff, tough, physical, can get downhill. Different, he's shooting it better. He still doesn't shoot a lot of threes. I mean, it's kind of the way that they play. He didn't take very many for us. That was the one thing I tried to encourage him to shoot way more. We wanted him to shoot a lot more threes, and he's not a bad shooter. He just, I think, he'd been so accustomed to and so adept at and really good at getting the ball downhill because he's such a physical driver that's what he's good at. That's still what he's best at. Most of his threes are catch and shoots. He's making about 1 a game, and I think his percentage is better maybe than it was here. But he was always, he's at gym rat. He's in the gym working. You'd expect a kid that 3 years later to be a lot better shooter, which he is. He still doesn't take many off the dribble ones. I think once he puts the ball on the floor, he's trying to get downhill like he did here. But they don't take as many threes, but I think his percentage is better. And then I'm sure his leadership's gotten he was a great teammate and a good leader in the sense that he played really hard and was about the right stuff here. He wasn't maybe as vocal being a freshman. I'm sure, from the comments I've heard, he's got a way bigger leadership role there, which goes along with being a lot older. So, I'm happy for him. He's found a spot. He's doing really well. We had a great year here when he was here with us too.
Obviously, the non-conference schedule itself has tested y'all, but kind of how have all the injuries you've had to deal with since preseason tested the staff and the players of kind of forcing guys into roles maybe you didn't foresee them in before the year started?
No, really, really good point, Katie, because we've had players get a lot more playing time than maybe what they would have gotten if everybody was healthy early, particularly some of these freshmen, which is, I think helped them along, if you will. Amari's been great for us, but he's playing more, with Reitzel out, Holloway out, some different guys. London's been playing well here lately. He's been able to play more minutes. Taylor was out. Keaton's been out. London's got more minutes. Davion's got more minutes. So I think some of the younger guys have been able to benefit from more minutes due to some of these older guys. And when we get everybody back healthy, we'll be better for it because the younger guys have gotten more experience than what they would have gotten had everybody been healthy every game from game one on. So I think it's going to help us in the long run. It's definitely put a little stress on training staff for sure. I think Clark's best trainer in the country, so it's not his problem that these guys are out. He's working his tail off to get them back, and he gets guys back without risking long-term health for the players. I think he does the best job of that anybody in the country, making sure guys are on the floor to play the game when it's appropriate that they play. And if it's not appropriate that they play, I trust him, and we're never going to question it because I don't want guys getting injured for their long-term health.
since 1960. Here to get you there.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Rush into Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun this holiday season for the $100,000 Holiday Gold Rush. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Drawings are Fridays and Sundays at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. Win up to $1,000 in free play when you match 2 prize cards. And every 100 slot or table points earned gets you another shot at the gold. Rush in today, only at Casino del Sol. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or JTAutoAZ.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management. As a boutique fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
London flips it ahead to LeBaron. Phylon, nice bounce pass. Allen for the flush. Now it goes in and throws it home. A great assist from Amari Allen. And the freight train was coming down the tracks to throw it down.
Who might be your pest of the game tonight? We're going to find out. Could it be Amari Allen? Could it be LeBaron Phylon? Might it be Aiden Holloway? if he plays, that's the big question of the moment. Arizona and Alabama tonight down in Birmingham, Alabama. The Crimson Tide in a very similar situation to what the Wildcats were in last week. Aiden Holloway did not play in the last game due to injury. He's a 6'1" guard. He is the kind of the number 2 guy in this guard tandem that Alabama has alongside LeBaron Fallon, but no word on if Aiden's going to be able to go today. So if he doesn't, that's a big loss for them, guys. And if he and even so, interesting what we heard there from head coach Nate Oates. Just they have some concerns about being able to play in the post against this Arizona team, which most teams do.
Yeah, they should have some concerns because I don't know how they're going to match up. My pest is a guy that I'm wondering how he's going to play against those guys. But yeah, it's a tough situation when you're playing against the Koa Pete and you're bringing a guy like a Waka off the bench and Crevis. I mean, it's not too many teams in the country that's going to be able to match up with that. Every team is going to be pretty much at a disadvantage unless you're talking about a Houston.
Yeah, think about the Buffalo team, right? That beat Ayton. That's the style. If you're talking about the philosophy being your 4s and your 5s, Kelvin, are too quick for anybody to stay with on the perimeter, and they've got range to their jump shot. Well, we've seen Tobe Awaka move his feet out there, and obviously Koa Pete is athletic. If you get Mo Crevis out defending people at the 3-point line, you might have a little bit of an issue. But other than him, every person on this roster can stick with guys on the perimeter.
But I'll tell you what, though, this is a perfect game for our guys to play because this is the biggest question that we have about this team is can they guard a team that plays outside the 3-point line? So having a game like this with this magnitude as far as being number 1 ranked, because that raises the magnitude just because of the ranking, that raises how the other team looks at that Arizona across the chest. They looking at us like food right now, okay? So I just think with all that together, you win regardless in this game. And that not being a cliche thing, but for real, because they need to learn how to play these type of teams because this is the type of team that you run into that could, figure out a way to beat you. So playing them is the only way to figure it out.
Yeah, ideally, DK, if you're a Final Four national championship contender, you want to see every single style at the highest level in the non-conference, especially so you can figure out what you need to work on moving forward. Alabama is that next tier, that next style that Arizona hasn't quite seen yet, like Kelvin said. So we'll see what happens. I think they're definitely capable of defending those 3-point shots, but it's going to be a challenge, no doubt.
LeBaron Filan he's a sophomore and averages, he's actually an Alabama native out of Mobile. He averages 21 points per ball game and shoots 40% from 3. Aiden Holloway, who is a game-time decision, 6'1" out of Charlotte, a transfer from Auburn, the rival, averages 18 points and shoots 43% from behind the arc. Tommy Lloyd definitely believes that those two, if Holloway's out there, are going to be a handful.
I mean, he's a really talented player. I mean, both those guards, they're just a dynamic duo. And, the speed, quickness, ability to shoot the ball, ability to get to the rim, ability to play downhill, ability to play in tight spaces, just really good players. And then they're playing in a system that allows them to be consistently aggressive every single possession. So they're a handful.
LeBaron, I keep wanting to call him LeBron. LeBaron Filan is the reigning SEC Player of the Week. He's won that award already 3 times this season, and he's one of just 3 players in the country who's in the top 45 in both scoring, we mentioned at 22 points per game, and assists at 5 points per game. Joining SMU's Boopie Miller. How about this trio here? You've got LeBaron Filan Jr., Boopie Miller, and Montana's Money Williams. 3 of the best first names
Money and Boopie.
Find. Money, Boopie, and LeBaron. The 3 of the best guards in terms of scoring and assists in Division I college basketball. Jaden Bradley, on the flip side, says to stop these guys. He, in fact, uses a little bit of a defensive term here, football term. The Wildcats are going to have to change the pictures on Alabama tonight.
From down the stretch, from non-conference to conference play, we're going to play against tough guards, and we just got to contain them and make them see different coverages and just give them different looks.
So in terms of different coverages, what do you think that's going to entail tonight?
Well, when you say different coverages, that's switching. Sometimes that's getting over screens. That's hedging, doubling on screen, hard hedges. Sometimes drop coverage. That's just mixing up how you playing against them so they don't get in a rhythm. You're trying to throw off their rhythm by changing up your styles of play.
Yeah, if you're switching and maybe a little bit of a blitz on a ball handler who likes to shoot from 20, 25 feet, and then, Kelvin, 2 times down you don't, and then you do, and then you 1-3-1 trap. Switch it up so that they don't know where the double's coming from and if it's coming at all, and that just keeps them off balance. Only 35 seconds, Kelvin, to figure out what you want to do out there. Alabama's only going to use about 15 seconds of that, but the more you keep them off balance and second-guessing what their offensive set is and whether or not they're getting a good look, the better.
And most of the team, they've dominated, so they haven't had a chance to work on a lot of stuff. Right, so when you see a team that come in with this style of play that they're going to live and die with, it actually excites you as a player because you get to game plan some stuff and use some stuff that you guys haven't been using because you understand if you're going to go far, you're going to have several styles of play to be able to beat these different teams when you get in a tournament play.
Amari Allen, maybe another guy that could be a pest. He's the only player in the SEC right now averaging at least 10.7 rebounds and 4 assists per ball game. He's at 11, 8, and 4 in those categories this season. So who's it going to be? Let's find out. Who's going to be that Crimson Tider that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight?
Who is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, we'll go JW Madden first on this.
I was just about to say I would love to go first because there's no way you guys are going to have this guy as your pass.
Oh, okay.
I'm going off script, and I'm going to go with Jaleel Bethea.
Ooh.
And if you don't know the story, he was one of the best shooting guards coming out of high school 2 years ago. He went down to Miami, struggled a little bit to find his shot in his freshman year. Then he had some injury issues. He's only played in 2 games, and he's only played 28 minutes this year with the Alabama Crimson Tide. But that is a dude, Kelvin, who, if you're worried about everybody else, you're worried about all those other guys, he could get busy and he can make shots, tough shot maker.
Kelvin.
I'm gonna go with Amari Allen, man. That 11.7 rebounds and the 3.7 assists. Okay, so he's out there at the 3-point line, and he also can assist the ball because he's bringing the other team's big man out, having to guard him. He's a forward. He's 6'8", 205, and to me, he's the guy that's going to force us to, figure out if our bigs can actually guard the perimeter.
I'm going to maybe go off the grid a little bit as well. I'm going to go Aiden Sherrill. 24 blocked shots, and I thought one of the issues we had against Auburn last week is we got at times on that high-low, we didn't really finish strong on that. There were a couple times, remember, Toby fumbled one, Mo got one blocked from behind, and you get a shot blocker in there like an Aiden Sherrill, and he might be able to defend that high-low that the Wildcats like to run there. So you got to be strong, I think, with the basketball today. If he gets going, he can also, shoot the ball a little bit, makes a few threes when he needs to, but not just send him to the line because he doesn't do that very well. But, I'm going to go with Aiden Sherrill as my guy that could potentially be a pest for the Wildcats tonight. Those are our 3 guys, Aiden Sherrill, Jaleel Bethea, and one more guy, Amari Allen, could be the guys that get underneath the Wildcats' skin tonight.
That's our Pest of the Game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
520-848-1290. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Give us a call. Give us a text. Give us your thoughts on Arizona basketball. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd here on going back again. I mentioned earlier in the show, if you're not with us, the Alabama Crimson Tide have taken almost 200 more three-point shots than the Arizona Wildcats. Tommy talks about Arizona's low three-point shooting versus their two-point ratio.
It's been interesting how it's played out. It hasn't been. I'm not going to act like I've told our guys not to shoot threes because that's not the case. It's just kind of the decisions they're making. And if you have guys that are, maybe turning down threes to get the other stuff, and it's working out. I think you're comfortable doing that. Obviously, we're comfortable playing in the paint, playing through our bigs. It's been a successful recipe for us, and we got a conviction with it. So, and hey, we're working on shooting every day. I don't think we're a bad shooting team. We just, at this point, haven't been a high-volume three-point shooting team.
You heard Nate Oates mention the numbers in his press conference. The Wildcats, 16 threes attempted per game, ranked 358th out of 361 teams in Division I, while Alabama's 36 attempts per game is the third most in the country. Anthony Del Orso on maybe why Arizona is not shooting a whole lot of threes right now.
We've just been so dominant in the paint. I don't think it's a matter of you can't do one or the other. I think it's just that's the way the games have gone so far. We've made an emphasis to get in the paint and put foul pressure on all that kind of stuff. And that's we're a big physical team, so we're just playing to our strengths.
I'll harken back real quick, Kelvin, to Michael Jordan's era with the Bulls, right? And what they would do is get the ball to Cartwright in the first 5 minutes. Like feed the post, feed the post, feed the post, feed the post. And the reason for that is because you're trying to put in the defense's mind, hey, we're going inside. Right. We're going to score right at the rim. Stop us. Arizona, to this point, DK, through 8 games, hasn't needed to shoot threes. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to be games this year that they will put up a volume of threes. But the scouting report, Kelvin, right now, what are you worried about with Arizona? You're worried about 50 points in the paint. You're worried about getting dominated on the glass. You're worried about Koa Pete, Mo Krivas, Tobe Awaka, those guys dunking right at the rim. So clearly they're going to ease off the three-point line in preference to try to take away the paint. Right. That's how you get better open looks, and they're capable shooters on this team. Between Aristotle and Delhi, they both had 4+ threes made in a game this year, right? So it's just a matter of putting that on tape. They're trying to get the ball inside. Doesn't mean that they can't shoot threes.
So that goes back then maybe to a question we got here in the text group from our guy Fred Scheib in New Jersey. If you were coaching Bama, if you were Nate Oates tonight, what's your strategy defensively? Zone or plug the paint?
I would definitely plug the paint. I would plug the paint. And with that first group, I think I would play off everybody. I would play off everybody except for Burries and Yvonne. Yvonne's still starting, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I would play out. I would hug those two, almost like a triangle in two. And force Jaden Berries, I would sag out. Jaden Bradley, I would sag out Jaden and try to force him to shoot jump shots over me. Do not let him turn the corner and get into the lane.
It's just reading the scout, man, and understanding the tendencies of players. And so, like you said, Jaden Bradley's not looking for threes. Jaden Bradley's never hunted a three in his life. You leave him open, Kelvin, and that's what you're gonna play off him by 5 feet. He's gonna take that shot. But yeah, you got to make sure that you understand which of the guys on Arizona's team are looking first pull. I got catch and shoot kind of guys. And then you make sure they don't get clean looks. Same with any other scouting report. It's just a matter of making sure, do you have the physicality? To answer the question, it's both, right? Because to clog the paint, sometimes you need to run a little bit of a zone. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm not sure Nate Oates has, a ton of zone in his repertoire. Not like that is his go-to defense that he's trying to play. But against a front line like Arizona, there's not much of a choice if you don't have the one-on-one physicality to match up with those guys.
All right, Arizona Wildcat grad and national basketball pundit Jeff Goodman says that Alabama will have Latrell Wrightsell and Keaton Bristow for tonight's game against Arizona. Aiden Holloway is likely to play. Apparently, they talked to head coach Nate Oates on the Field of 68 podcast. They usually do podcasts before or early in the day on Saturdays. So according to Nate Oates and that podcast, Aiden Holloway is likely to play tonight for Alabama. All right, we'll get the scoreboard in our next segment. We'll take a break here. Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day is the show. We appreciate Fred Scheib for checking in, always listening to us in Jersey, where it is coming up on 8 o'clock in the evening, and Fred will probably be with us till I think we are scheduled to go off the air at midnight our time, so that'll be 2 in the morning in New York City or New Jersey. When
hey, at least he's not a Gonzaga or UCLA fan.
Right? Exactly. Did you hear Mick Cronin complaining about the 8:30 time slot, Kelvin?
Top 25 matchup tipping off at 8:30.
Same time slot we had last week. But Cronin doesn't like it.
Yeah, he don't.
Cronin doesn't like much of anything.
I'm gonna say, what does he like? They would have played at the exact time he wants. He's gonna figure out something wrong with that.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Season's greetings from Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. The end of the year is near, but you do not need to fear. We can help you keep your budget in the clear. Now until the end of December, there are still federal tax credits, TEP rebates, and manufacturer rebates on select HVAC systems and tankless water heaters. Call 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at PictureRocksCooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rocking K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rocking K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol. Now to December 28th, Club Soul members can strike it rich. Rush in for the $100,000 holiday gold rush. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Every year, I make it a habit to reflect on the many blessings in my life. This is Natalie Fernandez from Meridian Wealth Management, and we want to take a moment to thank our clients and the Tucson community for the trust you continue to place in us with your financial futures each and every day. As the year nears its end, all of us at Meridian would like to wish you and your families a very happy holiday season with your loved ones. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to all, and cheers to peace, health, and wealth in 2026.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Bradley down into the lane, lay it up and good.
Previs, turnaround jump hook is good. Del Orso springs a three out there and drains it. Milwaukee takes away the rebound and slams it home. It's a man's game.
Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of University of Arizona basketball continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to tip-off for Arizona Wildcats basketball. This is Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Back to Karchinkov, match down Overton, fire it down low, Pete open, and slam it home.
High basketball IQ from Ivan Karchinkov.
Bradley, lead pass down to Pete. Pete to the bucket, lay it up and good. Running, gunning, throws it into backcourt, chased down by Pete, drive, slam it home. Koa Pete, burst of energy.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, final hour of our show. We've got you till 7 o'clock. Brian Jeffries and Reggie Geary will have the call. They'll take it over in about an hour from Birmingham, Alabama Legacy Sports Arena for the CM Newton Classic between the top-ranked Wildcats and number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide. So in this final hour, we'll check the scoreboard. Finally, we'll get to that. I promise you we will get to the scoreboard. Brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Can we beat the books tonight? Casino del Sol is asking that question. The U of A is a 1.5-point favorite. You're over under 177.5 on that one right there. We'll take our view from courtside and hear from Preston Kirk. He is one of the partners over at Knight Eady. They put on this CM Newton Classic every season, bringing in some of the top basketball teams in the country to play against the Alabama Crimson Tide. Keys to the game, starting lineup, all of that is still straight ahead for you in this final hour of our program. You heard Koa Pete there, the only freshman in the country this season to post 18 points, 5 assists, and 0 turnovers in a game against a top 25 opponent. He did that last week against the Auburn Tigers. Pretty impressive for Koa Pete. Tommy Lloyd, though, would like to see maybe if Koa, at least last week anyway, would like to have seen Koa maybe grab a few more rebounds.
You know, obviously Koa's a dynamic player. I mean, he has, 8 for 11 today. I wish he would have rebounded a little bit more, and I talked to him about that. We got to get him up. I think he can, I think eventually he can rebound the ball like Tobe. I mean, that would be my expectation. But to have 5 assists and no turnovers, you just feel really comfortable when the ball's in his hands. And, it's something that we hope to take advantage of over the course of the season.
So he had 12 rebounds in the game against UConn, but he's kind of been a little bit up and down in that respect. He had 7 in the first game against Florida. He's kind of normally in the 3 to 4 range. Do you see him, guys, being a Toby Awaka style rebounder?
I feel like
can he be?
Yes, of course. I mean, with that body frame and that activity and that athleticism, quickness to the ball, he can see the ball coming off the rim. He understands where it's going. I just don't think he's putting enough effort at it. I said that before. You heard me say it. I said, man, he's not getting enough board for me. I ain't letting Walker have nothing. I ain't letting him have nothing. We fighting over those, right? I mean, the first one to the ball. And because it's as a coach, and Coach Lloyd knows he only has 1 year with him. And how can you really help him? You help him by holding him accountable to the little things, like hustling on defense, being where you're supposed to be as far as positioning in your rotations on defense, and rebounding the basketball, because that's going to be one of his biggest skills at the next level, being a guy that could be a stretch 4 and rotate in between that 3-4 position, is being a great rebounder. To me, that is his superpower.
Yeah, the best coaches coach their best players the hardest, right? I think there's another factor here, which is you invoked Azuolas Tubelis' name earlier, DK. What was Zoo best known for? Rim running.
Yeah.
Zoo would beat the 4 down the court, seal whoever was on him underneath the rim, and get an easy layup. Koa has 2 great rebounders in the front court with him. So some of those plays, in order to be a great rebounder, you have to be a very intelligent person, because it's really not as it's about physicality, of course, boxing out, but the real thing is reading where the ball's coming off the rim. Kelvin, what is it? 72% of all shots taken from the baseline go to the other side of the baseline if they miss. There are percentages behind these shots and where they come from. Koa Pete obviously is a very intelligent young man. would not be surprised to see Koa Pete become a Tobe Awaka style rebounder, which is anything in his vicinity he's going to grab. His hands are super strong. I just think at this point, a lot of times Koa Pete's reading the play, seeing where the ball's coming off, seeing that there's an Arizona guy in that area, and as opposed to going to fight him, turns and starts to sprint up the court, because he's also super valuable beating the bigs down the court, sealing them for an easy bucket, and that's a part of the equation as well.
In terms of Koa Pete, let's hear him. 60 points in the paint in that game against Auburn, and why that is so important to this team's offense.
I don't think it's just the front court. I think it's everybody, honestly. Coach preaches paint points, and, that's one of our values as a team. So we try to get in the paint. If we don't have nothing out there, kick out threes. That's the best type of threes we can get as a team. So just playing off drives and stuff like that, high lows, simple stuff, and just making sure we're finishing in there, and it's been a good formula for us. 16
points, 6 rebounds so far in his time here at the University of Arizona. Has also, shown that he can be a pretty decent distributor. 3 assists per ball game so far this season. Has had at least 2 assists in every single game, except for the game against UCLA, where he did not have any assists. Tommy, though, has liked the way overall, wants him to rebound a little bit more, but overall likes the growth he's seen from his freshman top prospect through these first 8 games.
I just think his understanding of, what it takes to be successful at this level, and his understanding of what we're trying to do. There's a lot of superlatives you could say about Koa, and one of them is he has a really high basketball IQ, and he's a great learner. So, he just continues to learn and, play the game the right way. And I think, to me, that's been the most impressive thing, is just how consistently he plays the game the right way.
He's one of 6 players on this roster that has scored at least 20 points in a game so far this season. 3 of those 6 are freshmen. He's done it alongside Braden Burries, as well as Ivan Karchinkov. The other 3, Jaden Bradley, Anthony Delorso, and Motias Krivas. And I want to talk real quick, guys, about something that we heard Nate Oates say in his press conference there. And Kelvin and I were talking about this in the break, J-Dub. He said he believes, and when he was talking about Braden Burries, because they recruited him, he said, Braden's the kind of guy that can score 30 points on any given night. And I was like, what? I don't see that just yet from Braden Burries being a 30-point scorer. He's a guy, obviously, that potentially could be that, but I don't know if he's there just yet.
Yeah, I think, because he was asked what he had seen from his growth at Arizona, and he's like, you'd have to ask Tommy. I don't know anything about that. However, he said, I know that he struggled early, and we all know the story, right? He had 2 fouls in those games. 2 fouls early, had to sit on the bench for a little bit. Can Braden Burries score 30 points in an NCAA basketball game? Yes, of course he can, because he's got a really smooth jump shot. He's got midi. He can get to the basket. So whether or not Braden Burries is capable of that in this particular game, I'm not so sure. Depends, Kelvin. We know that the freshman, he's an older freshman. He's 20 right now. But as far as going on the road.
He's that old? I didn't know he's that old.
Yeah, he's 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
So going on the road and playing in an environment, this is not a true road game, but they're going to be playing in front of 85% Alabama fans. The nerves get to you, the hype gets to you, the big game gets to you, and all that stuff. I'd be less surprised to see Braden Burries score 30 in a game at home where he just starts feeling himself, because what happens, DK, is all his teammates will start looking for him. He hits his first 4 threes, they're going to start feeding him and feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. But they don't need him to score a lot for this team to be successful, and that's the most important point. I think Nate Oates was referring to how talented the team is, and if we forget about Braden Burries, he could put 30 on us because he's a very capable scorer. That's kind of what he came into Arizona with a reputation as.
And what I was saying was that when me and DK was talking, I told him that, I said, and he's basically has Caleb's role. but on a better team with better bigs. The guys are a year older. They're more dominant than they was. So, but what that says is when nobody can get a shot, Braden Berries is the guy that's supposed to get those shots up. So I say, what coach is really doing, he's talking to his team, like, don't let him go off on us.
Yeah.
He's speaking to his team more so than anything, that this guy could score 30. Don't disrespect him and think because he hasn't been playing that great that he can't do it. And the volume of shots that he gets up. He can score 30 on you if some of them shots start falling, and especially that he's one of the more accomplished three-point shooters on his team as well. So I think coach is talking through the media to his guys, trying to make them understand that it's this one guy on their team that could really go off, and he has the mentality to go off like that, and it's Berries.
If you notice, DK, from Braden Berries, when he does make a midi, the next time down, he goes hard to the rim and tries to score. He's got that scorer's mentality, Kelvin. When he was in high school, state champion, California Player of the Year, they needed him to be aggressive offensively. So he's got that DNA. I mean, he's got that in him to try to take over at times, and he has to hold back, I think, sometimes, because young players, especially, Kelvin, how many times have we seen it where a ball goes through the net and the next possession on offense, they're going to try to keep that going. You know, it's not necessarily a heat check. It's just I'm about to go on my own personal 8-0 run type of thing. I've seen Braden Berries, at least in 3 games this year where he's hit a bucket, come down the next 2 possessions and shoot again. Otherwise, he's pretty much deferring, running the offense. And real quick, back to your Caleb Love analogy, the difference being Caleb Love needed to score 25 from the outside to open up the inside for driving lanes. This team is built around Tobe and Mo and Pete getting busy in the paint, and that clearing all the defense off of the perimeter. So Burry's shots, even though he is that guy, Kelvin, who can get you a late shot clock, he can go into some kind of ISO mode. His shots right now are coming because there's such a threat to score from the other cats in the paint. So his looks at the rim are a lot cleaner right now. He's not the guy that's at the top of the scout. And so, therefore, if you forget about him, like Kelvin said, he could easily put a bunch of points on the board.
All right, let's find out what's happening in college basketball around the country.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, a lot of Big 12 finals already in. Number 7, Houston beats New Orleans 99-57 today. A battle of ranked teams in Dallas, Texas. Arkansas, 17th ranked Arkansas with our guy John Calipari beats Texas Tech 93-86 despite 30 points and 11 rebounds from J.T. Toppin in that game.
Yeah, all the Arkansas fans said, I just don't want to see Texas Tech or Toppin ever again after this.
Number 19, Kansas survives in overtime down in Raleigh. They knock off NC State 77-76. Melvin Council Jr., 36 points for the Jayhawks in that game. Bedlam basketball, Oklahoma 85, Oklahoma State 76. That's the first loss this season for the Cowboys. Cincinnati gets beat down in Georgia 84-65. That team started like 6-0, and I think, or at least 5-0. They're now 6-4. So the Bearcats have fallen on a little bit of hard times here in the last few weeks. Kansas State beats Creighton 83-76. Colorado over UTSA. That's Texas San Antonio 88-64. Games coming up tonight. Well, one game in progress. Actually, 2 games in progress right now. West Virginia has just begun their game in Cleveland against Ohio State, leading early 5-3. Riverside on the road tonight in Salt Lake, in Provo. Provo against BYU, the number 10 team in the country. Utah is home against Mississippi State in Salt Lake City. Arizona State also playing right now and losing at the Jack Jones Classic 62-46 to Santa Clara. So that is what things look like in the Big 12 today. Top 25 scoreboard. Number 18, Florida over George Washington 80-70. It was North Carolina 80, South Carolina upstate 62. Let's see what our guy, Mr. Henry Vasar, 14 points today to go along with 9 rebounds for Henry Vasar. Let's hear the final part of this game in the Big Ten today. Number 23 Nebraska on the road at 13th ranked Illinois in Champaign. The game was tied 80-80 late.
Flat along the baseline, except for Sam out into the timeline. 5 seconds to go. Sam drives the ball, kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out. The game is over. Nebraska wins it.
I'm gonna pass that.
Bro, like this guy's been calling Nebraska basketball, Kelvin, since the 90s. For people who don't know, like Nebraska is the only Power 5 school to have never won a single NCAA tournament game. Obviously, that's Kent. How do you pronounce his last name, DK? Pavekla?
Yeah, Pavekla.
Yeah, Kent Pavekla, longtime voice of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Happy to see a top 25 ranking for the Nebraska ball team because they have never had success. I think everybody, Coach Hoiberg, everybody in the country who has completely neutral, if you don't root against Nebraska, Kelvin, how could you not root for Nebraska to get their first ever NCAA tournament win?
Yeah, it's still unbelievable that they haven't, but yeah, you definitely rooting for them.
32 points for Price Sanford in that game, but it was Jamarcus Lawrence who had the big shot there at the end. He finished with 14 in the win for Nebraska. Kylan Boswell, 20 points. He went 5 of 9 and knocked down 3 3-point shots, but the Illini fall today. Elsewhere, number 21, Auburn bounces back their loss last week here in Tucson. They beat Chattanooga 92-78. Purdue takes out Marquette 79-59. And games in progress right now. Vanderbilt 74-57 over Central Arkansas. Number 2, Michigan, only up by 1, 6 minutes into the game, though, against Maryland on the road, 13-12. We'll see if that game ends up being a 40-point loss for the Terps tonight. Number 25, UCLA will be in Seattle to take on 8th-ranked Gonzaga. Real quick, football side, Army, Navy, the midshipmen sing second today, 17-16. The final score, the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, goes to Navy, who is 10-2 now on the season. Jed Fish and Company going to be playing tonight in a bowl game. The Washington Huskies will be taking on Boise State alongside Rob Gronkowski out in the L.A. Bowl. I'm so glad the Wildcats did not get sent to the L.A. Bowl. Who wants to be playing in a bowl game right now at this point?
Right, December 13th? Come on.
Yeah,
Sound weird.
December 13th,
Man, that's
exactly. It is very early. And congratulations to the guys from Jackson State as they knocked off Prairie View A&M Day 40-30 in the Cricket Bowl. Prairie View A&M was up 21-0 in that game, and Jackson State came back to tie it, send it to overtime, and they go on to win.
Good to hear Cricket's got her own bowl.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's, before we get to break, we're way behind, but let's get in. Let's find out if we can beat the book today.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
My apologies. I said Jackson State, South Carolina State. South Carolina State from the MEAC wins the Cricket Bowl.
1 point, right?
By 2 points. 2 points in 4 overtimes.
Whoa.
Yeah, it turned into a really, really good game today. All right, Arizona is a 1.5-point favorite tonight. And I think we are all pretty, I think you guys are one up on me right now. So we'll let one of you then go first. We'll start with Kelvin. Arizona minus 1.5 tonight.
I'm taking Arizona with the minus 1.5. I think they go in there and well, I actually got the win about 4, but I think they go in there and they figure out a way to get it done.
All right, so Kelvin's got Arizona minus 1.5. I agree with him on that. I'm going to take the Wildcats minus that 1.5 tonight as well. And JW.
Yeah, same. I think it's going to be close. I think Cats win by 4 or 5.
4 or 5 points. All right, over under, biggest we've seen all year, 177.5 points tonight. We'll start with JW on that.
I think it's going to be tough to not see that number because, guys, Alabama has scored 80 as their low. 80 is the least amount of points they've scored in their 9 games this year. So as high as that number is, I just think this game's going to be a track meet. I think there's going to be a lot of good offense. I don't think Alabama's defense can slow down Arizona. I think Alabama's going to hit some shots. So I'm going to say slightly over that, believe it or not.
All right. I'm going to go over too. I think that's going to be the play tonight. Both these teams average in the 80s, and I think this game could be in the 90s for sure. Kelvin.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, but I'm just wondering who's reffing.
I have no idea.
Who's reffing this one, man? Because that's what's going to have the biggest outcome with that. But I have to take the over because of the scoring prowess of both of these teams.
All right, so everybody's got Arizona -1.5 and the over tonight. Can we beat the book? We'll find out in about 2.5 hours.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our Black Friday week of savings has been extended into December. Right now, every set of tires is on sale and you can stack on manufacturer's rebates for even more savings, up to $180 more. We've also got popular maintenance services at up to 50% off to get you road trip ready for all your holiday travel. Jack Furrier's 14 area locations are ready to help. So call, stop by, or visit us online at jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
And our view from courtside today comes from Preston Kirk of Knight Eady, the marketing and event company in Birmingham that puts on this CM Newton Classic every year. We chatted with Preston earlier this week, and I asked him about the evolution of this fabulous event that takes place annually down in Alabama.
Yeah, this is the fifth year of having the CM Newton Classic here in Birmingham. We're excited to have Arizona as the number one team coming into town to take on the Tide. But yeah, we started the CM Newton Classic in 2021, and we've had some great matchups. We had Illinois last year. We've had Gonzaga coming to town, Davidson, Liberty. So, yeah, excited to keep that going with the Wildcats coming in.
So what was the emphasis there, the impetus of why you guys wanted to start this? What was it was going to be, the idea of what you wanted to make it, bring it in, these major teams from around the country to play basketball there in Birmingham? And how often do the Crimson Tide play games there in the city?
So, yeah, the second part of that, this is actually the second time they're playing here in Birmingham this year. They played a preseason exhibition game here against Florida State back in October. So, yeah, actually their second time playing here in Birmingham. But, yeah, obviously the neutral site experience is a great push for, what we're seeing in college basketball these days. And the relationship that the university has within the city of Birmingham, there's a ton of Alabama fans here locally in Birmingham, and so we have a great draw in the community to come out and support the Crimson Tide. And and this obviously the namesake of the game, CM Newton, he's the first one to integrate the men's basketball program there. So we're happy to honor what he did and just really be able to showcase his legacy in this area. And so that's part of what else that we bring to the table and able to talk to and kind of just keep that story going. So we're proud to be able to kind of show that too.
We're joined by Birmingham's Preston Kirk with Knight Eady. They coordinate tonight's CM Newton Classic. It's your view from courtside. It's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, serving Arizona now for over 30 years. I had the chance to ask Preston about CM Newton and his integrating of the Alabama basketball program back in the 1970s. What was the history about how that was received when he decided that, hey, we need to take this program in a new direction that is more representative of our community down here in Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he paved the way for diversity and inclusion to be able to do that with the men's basketball program. He's the one that took the step to do that, and so we're proud to still be able to honor that of what he did this many years later, and to be able to showcase his name, to be able to tell the story. We've had former players come back and be a part and come to the game. So to be able to honor them and their legacy is just a huge piece of history here in this area, and we're just really proud to be able to keep that going.
I don't know how old you are. Did you have an opportunity to know him at all?
I did not. No, did not. His son Martin is the athletic director here at Sanford, so we've got a great relationship with him, and obviously, it's great to have the family still live here locally, and be able to pick up the phone and talk to them is great. So we've got a great relationship with that family.
What other events? Is it just the basketball game? Are there other events that you guys have around this this classic every year?
Just the basketball game this year. There's been some times where we've been able to take teams to the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute and be able to walk through the history of what happened here in Birmingham. Unfortunately, not doing that this year, but yeah, we have been able to do that in years past and be able to take some teams through that and just to be able to showcase the history of what happened during the civil rights movement.
And how did it come? Was this your guy? Whose idea was it initially? Was this something that your organization, you guys obviously do a lot of event planning, was this something that you guys came up with? Whose initial idea was it?
We have done other neutral site games in the past, and this was one, just the relationship that we have with the Newton family, and obviously the Newton family and Alabama. It was a great partnership between all three of us, and so something that we wanted to showcase and keep going. So Alabama is a great partner with us here locally, and the university is only about 45 minutes down the road. So it's just a really good relationship between all three parties.
It's your view from courtside, and it's brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Arizona now for over 30 years. So now is Birmingham, because we just obviously got done playing Auburn here on Saturday. Is Birmingham an even split of Alabama and Auburn? Does it lean one way or the other there for folks that grew up in Birmingham?
Yeah, that is a great question. That is hard to tell, but there's definitely one side or the other. You do not, so you're either picking one or the other at birth. How it breaks down here, that's always a topic of conversation. I'll tell you what, the basketball fan though here in the state of Alabama, here in Birmingham, there's just a ton of momentum around college basketball in the state of Alabama. Obviously, both teams have done well in the last 2 years, with both teams going to the Final Four in the last 2 years. So, yeah, basketball in the state of Alabama is on the rise, and we're happy to obviously partner with Alabama on doing this game, but then also being able to welcome Arizona this year. So they're having a great year, so we're excited to have them here in Birmingham.
Obviously, you knew you were getting a good team coming here from Arizona. You didn't know at the time it was going to be the number one team in the country. When that came out on Monday, does that change anything from your aspect in terms of how the game is received or how you guys are late promoting the game now that it's the number one team coming in?
You got it. Yeah. Yeah, we've absolutely that. We were definitely watching the polls on Monday when that came out. So we also, I think, and Andy Katz had it as like the top game to watch this week, and so he posted that, and so there's a lot of buzz around the game with Arizona now being number one. So first time that Alabama was number one when they played Gonzaga a few years ago. Now this is the first time that a visiting number one is coming in. So happy to see that number one coming in.
And there's a very big charitable arm to this within the Alabama community down there. What are some of the things you guys do charitably there as a part of this game? I understand there's organizations that receive some donations from this event. Speak to what you guys do in terms of the community outreach there.
We have the Legacy Builder campaign that is part of the game. Which is a scholarship program. We select 4 different foundations here in this community that'll receive scholarship money. We'll do a big check presentation at halftime. But yeah, we've got 4 great foundations this year that'll receive some money to date. We've given out over $40,000 as part of this. So that also plays a major role in what we do around the game. Being able to give back to the community, to the city. We've just got a great city that loves sports, so be able to give back is a huge part of why we do this.
Preston Kirk from Knight Eady is our guest. Preston, who's your favorite all-time Alabama basketball player?
Yeah, I got to say Big Shot Bob. Robert Ory.
There you go.
Robert Ory.
That's a great one to hang your hat on there for sure. He is a legend, both at Alabama and on the NBA level as well.
for sure. It is the CM Newton Classic, Arizona and Alabama. It's in Birmingham. CM Newton, integrated Alabama men's basketball, recruited the university's first black athlete. It's funny because I went to USC, and one of the great stories that I always remember hearing when I was a Trojan was the time that the Trojans went down to play Alabama in football, and Bear Bryant, after getting beat by the Trojans, walked into the locker room and asked Coach McKay if he could borrow Sam Bam Cunningham for a few moments, and Coach McKay said, yes, you can, and Bear Bryant walked Sam Cunningham back over to the Alabama locker room, and he walked in and said, I want to introduce you to Sam Cunningham, to his team, and he said, this is what a football player looks like. Great story.
And when Bear spoke, it was the truth.
Absolutely. Hey, Preston, congratulations on a great event. Obviously, we are thrilled to be a part of this event. Continued success with everything you guys are doing down there in the Alabama community.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
We hope you enjoyed your view from courtside. It was brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser has been serving Southern Arizona for over 30 years.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thana Ogden Nation.
The holidays are here, and so are the Red Tag savings on new Chevrolets at O'Reilly Chevrolet. We've got Red Tag inventory and pricing on the latest Silverado, Equinox, and Traverse models, and yes, we have inventory. Get Red Tag O'Reilly pricing on brand new Chevys and unwrap great holiday deals and unbeatable pricing all season long. Find us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or shop 24/7 at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Well, boss, how's the sleigh?
It's amazing. Like it just flew off the showroom floor. Sparkling clean, no chimney dust, and I've never seen his nose so bright.
Recon Auto Detailing.
Recon gift cards to all, and to all a clean ride.
Give Recon Auto Detailing gift cards, and Arizona's premier auto detailing company will come do a basic cleaning or a jaw-dropping full detail, including a ceramic finish for anyone on your list. Get your Recon Auto Detailing gift cards now online at recondetail.com.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Reuter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing,
a neighborly company.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Here's Adams pressuring in backcourt. Karchinkov to inbound the ball. The Burry's double teamed in the corner now, trying to squeeze through, and he does. Gets out of trouble. Now Burry's on the run the other way. All the way to the bucket. Laid up and good.
Outstanding job of Tobe Awaka shielding the big man who couldn't come over to rim protect.
Braden Burries, after he scored 39 total points in his first 5 games as an Arizona Wildcat, he's got 51 in the last 3 games for the U of A, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists over that stretch of games is Braden Burries. So, can he be a 30-point scorer? But he's at least, in the last 3 games, close to a 20-point scorer for your Arizona Wildcats. Final segment from Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. David Kelly, Calvin Ifan, J.W. Madden on the season. Braden is averaging 11 points. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea he was 20 years old. Like, I'm wondering, like, what's the story there? Like, a 20-year-old freshman, that's maybe even a year or two. And did he go to a prep school? Or I don't remember hearing that he went to a prep school or anything of that nature.
No,
but, yeah, that's much older much. So now my scrutiny of him has changed because he's a lot older than your average freshman. He should be playing, I think, maybe at a higher level than a 17 or 18-year-old freshman. I mean, 20. I was like, when J-Dub said that, I was like, what? I was not aware of that for sure. Anyway, Tommy Lloyd liked the rhythm he got for Braden Burries in the game against Auburn.
I thought it was the best rhythm, Braden's had in one of these games. We've been talking about rhythm and pace, a lot with Braden, and he's a really good player, but he's learning. And, I think, what I've really been challenging him is kind of, getting out of his comfort zone, increasing his pace, because I think once he gets more comfortable playing at a faster pace, he has great instincts and they'll take over. And so we just kind of got to, up the RPMs a little bit. And I thought he did that at both ends of the floor tonight, so really happy.
Another guy that was has been impressed with Braden over the last 3 games, and especially against Auburn, was his backcourt teammate, Jaden Bradley.
Just Braden being Braden. As the season goes on, he's going to get more comfortable, and I feel like he's one of the best freshman guards in the country. And, so happy for him to do what he did, and excited to see his growth.
What kind of adjustments are you seeing, JV, as far as Braden? And, he struggled a little bit against some of those big games, but tonight it seems like lately he's been together. Are you certain things he's doing?
Just playing more confident. We had a tough schedule. For any freshman, coming into those big games, even though he didn't score a lot, he made a lot of, made a big impact defensively and, guarding. And so now he's just getting the hang of it on offense, and, he's only going to get better from here.
There you go. Impressed and for sure is the point guard with the young freshman, Jaden Bradley's of Braden Burries.
So what happened was, guys, is he transferred during his sophomore season and he was declared ineligible. So played an extra year there.
Okay. That makes sense. I was 19 as a freshman, and I was always because I went to a private school. I went to kindergarten. I went from a public school, and then I went to a private school where they had the age restriction. You had to be a certain age by a certain time, and so I had to do kindergarten twice because I went to the private school. So I was always one of the older people in my class.
So you're real good at finger painting.
I guess so. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. I don't remember.
And I was older because my birthday was in November, and they wouldn't let me start school at 5. So I started school at 6.
Yeah, there you go. So again, that's 20 though. That's definitely maybe even older because I can remember even as I was going through college, I'm like, man, the freshmen are getting younger and younger because I came in at 19, and by the time I got out of USC, most of the freshmen were coming in at 17. I'm like, wow, that's kids are really starting school a lot younger.
Well, in sports now, because of the NIL,
right?
You go look at a lot of those great quarterbacks that's coming out of California. They always held back in middle school. Every one of them, because they understood way back. You're talking about scholarship money.
Yeah.
And your kid is coming out 17, going against 19-year-old and 20-year-olds that are going to prep school. So now, even with the basketball landscape, every coach that the high school people send their stuff to, the coach is saying, we want grown men. We want grown men. So now you either have to go to junior college, you got to go to prep school. I mean, guys are gray shirting, which is basically only taking 6 units before they even start college because they have to get older and more mature because the game has got older.
There is a name for that strategy. They call it the Ute/Cougar strategy.
The Ute? Is that something Utah does?
Utah and BYU always have
BYU.
kids go on missions, and they come back, and they're like sophomores who are 21.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 kids in this football recruiting class that are going to be going on missions. So they'll be Arizona football may have some of those older players in their system as they get going.
Coach told me
for sure. All right, let's find out what the Wildcats need to do to win this game tonight.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
I think we've heard a lot of it in some of the comments that we've heard from the coaches and from the players tonight. I think for me, Arizona's got to continue to dominate the boards. I think the teams that are beating Alabama over the course of the last 2 years are teams that win on the glass. So I'm going to say +10 on the glass tonight, +10 in the paint. I think for Arizona is going to be important. I don't know if you'll get to 60 again tonight, but if you can get in that range. And I know last week, JW talked about you wanted to see them stay even around that 15-3 mark. I don't think they got to take a ton more threes, but I think they do need to take a few more threes. So I'm going to say they need to take at least 20. That's kind of going to be my low water mark in this game. I think they got to take it. The Arizona's got to take at least 23s in this game, and the way they shoot them, I think that will allow them to be able to win this game pretty comfortably tonight if they do the other things, win on the board and win the paint.
I think they have to pick their mans up early. I think at least 3 to 4 feet outside the three-point line. That way that they can get in comfortable catch-and-shoot situations on the fast break. So take away that early three-point attempt. I also think that we need to go inside to our bigs or guards could get the ball in the paint. I think this team, Alabama, could get handsy. They can get into foul trouble. If we're physical, get into the lane, either we can get a foul in the lane or on the rebound putback. I think we can get them in foul trouble and force them to be even smaller than they are. And then take care of the basketball. You don't want these guys to get easy two-pointers. You want to force them to have to beat you from the three-point line. Don't give up any easy twos in this game.
Yeah, that's my first key tonight. I think the challenge will be obviously the focus to defend the three-point line against the Crimson Tide. However, if you get too much spaced out, you get a lot of open layups. So I'd like to see Arizona, obviously, with their hands up, challenge shots, but don't leave open driving lanes. Less than 30 paint points I'd like to see for Alabama. They're averaging about 38. Clog up that paint. Don't let them get any easy layups. Make them hit outside shots. Just like you said, DK, against a team like this, as will be pretty much the standard, you have to dominate the glass. And most importantly to me, less than 10 offensive rebounds for the Tides, because they're going to be shooting a lot of threes, Kelvin. Going to be a lot of long rebounds. Got to have your guards, Koa Pete, all those guys meeting that challenge and reacting to the ball and where it's coming off the rim. And finally, they do have the number 1 ranking, and they do have a target on their back as a result of that. Everybody comes for you because if you beat the number 1 team, you move up. That's how this works. So meet that challenge. First time they've had that number 1 ranking this year. Meet the challenge. You know that there's going to be heightened anticipation and excitement from the Alabama Crimson Tide's players' sides. Everybody gets up for playing against that number 1 team. So just meet that challenge. Face it like it's another game. We've heard all the stories this week They're not taking the number one ranking too seriously. Take pride in it, but meet the challenge of other teams coming to get it because they're coming. That's my keys for tonight.
All right, that's what we think the Wildcats need to do to beat the number 12 Alabama Crimson Tide in Birmingham.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, starting to get some video in from Birmingham tonight. Jim Dunaway, I believe he is a TV sports anchor down there. Actually, he's a writer. He has posted some videos, so it looks like Aiden Holloway is at least doing some warm-up drills. How much he plays, he looks good in the video that I'm seeing, doing some side work there in terms of going laterally, and so we'll see. But he looks like he potentially could play tonight, and that's going to be huge for Alabama if he is in their starting lineup tonight. Who's going to be in Arizona's starting lineup? Everybody appears to be healthy, which we weren't sure last Saturday night. Let's find out.
The foundation of a great basketball team begins with the starting lineup. Today's starting lineup is brought to you by Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature.
Jaden Bradley starts at the point guard spot for Point Guard U, 6'3", senior out of Rochester, New York. Jaden averaging 15 points and 4 assists, scoring 20 points against the top 25 opponents. Braden Burries, we mentioned 17-point average in the last 3 games. Freshman guard out of San Bernardino, averaging 11 points on the season. The man in the middle is Motias Krivas. He is averaging 10 points and 8 rebounds. Krivas is 7'2" out of Chulia, as he says it, Lithuania. At one forward, Ivan Karchinkov. 6'7", freshman out of Munich, Germany, averaging 8 points and 4 rebounds. Koa Pete is the other forward, and Koa Pete is out of Arizona. Chandler, 6'8", a freshman. Koa Pete averaging 16 points and 6 rebounds this season. That is your starting lineup for tonight's game. Guys, final thoughts before we send it out to Birmingham. Reggie Geary and Brian Jeffries.
Again, it's just great to see them playing a game like this versus a team that has a threat to beat them at one of their perceived weaknesses of shooting threes. So just being able to play that type of competition, I expect a great game, exciting game, and just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, same. I love contrasting styles. I love it when both teams are going to run, but one team's going to try to score from the outside, one team from the inside. I love the contrasting styles. 2 great teams. Regardless of what happens tonight in Birmingham, these are 2 great teams, going to both make deep runs in the NCAA tournament. Really looking forward to it, DK.
Well, it's the first time Arizona has been back in Birmingham since 1997, since the Wildcats knocked off Kansas and Providence on their way.
Is there a spot
to the national
on that scores table with some footprints from your boy, Kelvin, you think?
Who jumped up on the scores table
Jet.
there? Was that Jason Terry?
Yes, sir.
Jason Terry. There you go. All right, Alabama, Arizona. It's coming up next. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to our guy Kelvin Ifan. Brian Jeffries and Reggie Geary will have the call straight ahead. Enjoy the game. We'll talk to you afterward. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, the post-game show. As always, bear down, Arizona.
This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step, and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our Black Friday week of savings has been extended into December. Right now, every set of tires is on sale and you can stack on manufacturer's rebates for even more savings, up to $180 more. We've also got popular maintenance services at up to 50% off to get you road trip ready for all your holiday travel. Jack Furrier's 14 area locations are ready to help. So call, stop by, or visit us online at jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
I grew up in a broken home, and I remember being homeless and being pregnant in Tucson. I remember being scared, and I went to Gospel Rescue Mission at Christmas time. And that was when everything changed. The gospel did more than just keep me sober. I started finding myself. Hi, I'm Christina, and I've been clean and sober for almost 6 years.
Go to grmtucson.com to give today.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl,
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
Little jumper in the lane, rolls in for 2. Drives into the lane to the bucket and good. It's good with 1 on the shot. Down to 5 seconds, that's it. Wildcats are headed to the Elite 8 on Saturday. Dreams can come true. Arizona has won the national championship. When it comes to basketball, nothing beats Wildcat basketball. Stay tuned for the fast breaks, blocked shots, and big buckets as Arizona Sports Enterprises brings you University of Arizona Wildcat basketball. Known as Magic City, Birmingham, Alabama is the site of tonight's top 25 battle between the Arizona Wildcats and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Hi again, everyone. Brian Jeffries, Reggie Geary greeting you from courtside at Legacy Arena in downtown Birmingham for a non-conference neutral site game between two schools affectionately referred to as U of A. The number 1 ranked Wildcats begin play tonight with an 8-0 record. The Tide is ranked 12th with a 7-2 mark. Tonight's game is the return match of 2 years ago when Arizona beat Alabama in Phoenix. That game played about 100 miles from the Arizona campus in Tucson. Tonight's game takes place 60 miles from the Alabama campus in Tuscaloosa. Legacy Arena seats over 17,000, and yes, the majority of the fans will be rooting for the Crimson Tide tonight. You can understand why. There could be some points scored tonight, maybe quite a few. Arizona averaging 88.5, Alabama 95.1. How the teams get there entirely different. The Wildcats have dominated the paint in their 8 wins. The Crimson Tide do it from outside the arc. Fasten your seatbelts. Get ready for some explosive scoring. Cats take on the Tide live from Arizona Sports Enterprises.
Hey, Wildcat fans, score $350 when you open a new MidFirst checking account. And be sure to register your new MidFirst card for a chance to win the ultimate Wildcat Game Day experience, which includes 4 tickets to an Arizona athletics game, plus a $500 gift card, or a $1,500 shopping spree. Visit midfirst.com for more details. No purchase necessary. MidFirst Bank. Member FDIC.
Wildcat fans, the 2025-26 Arizona athletics season is in full swing, and tickets are on sale now. Come be a part of the best show in Tucson as your Arizona Wildcats tackle year 2 in the Big 12 and show the nation why this is Wildcat country. So bring a friend, wear the colors, and get your tickets today by calling the McHale Center ticket office at 520-621-2287. That's 621-CATS, or by visiting ArizonaWildcats.com/tickets. Bear down.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner University Medicine, the University of Arizona Cancer Center helps lead nearly 500 active clinical trials. We're one of the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells, and we're experts in treating heart rhythm disorders, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive.